Just looking at some pictures. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to overhaul this this night, right, Tots Trick or Treat Studios Halloween Ends mask. And I need some tools here, some tweezers. Let me let's see. I'm going to shrink this down. I have no choice.
Guys, welcome to the next episode.
Yeah. Zip it, whoever you are. Close. And we're gonna go to my channel. Refresh. Don't mind my fat bod. Turn the volume down. Now I want to copy the link. Copy. And go to Facebook. Post Olivia. There we go. Okay. Let me go back to the chat room. Actually, Bo, thanks for coming on. I'm just sharing on Facebook right now, try to get some more people on here. I got the mask about a week and a half ago. I just never got around to doing it, and I'm not going to get my sculpture done in time for Halloween. Not for my brother even. We got hit with some cold weather, and it definitely has hindered everything that I'm doing. Hold on. Why is this not rolling? Have to grease these wheels, I guess. All right, let me jack this up a little bit. All right, now my approach to rehauling this is, first of all, I'm going to do the hair last. I'm not going to do this first, because I really want to try and use most of the hair that's already on the mask. I'm just going to pry and pull on it to make it, to make it more, not so matted onto the head. I'm going to try to salvage it, and if I need to add a little more hair to it, I can always do that. But what we're going to do is mostly washes. But the first thing I need to do is really get a lot of this well, I don't know if that's going to come off. The webbing, or the whatever this moss effect is, I'm going to use a different type of fabric. I'm actually going to use real lint from the dryer. That's what I'm going to use, and I'm also going to use another technique that nobody has attempted, to my knowledge, is I'm going to use coffee grains and mix them into some latex and put some dirt in spots, just, in some pretty cool spots, and just make it pop with the coffee grains, real fine crushed coffee grains, and then put it right in with latex and just kind of put it on the surface of it. It'll give it a very cool effect. Let me see if this will work. I doubt it. I gotta get a nice, I need a tool for this. Man, where'd the spring go? There it is. There we go, that's what I need. And that works. I can't get my finger in there, so I'm just gonna pull this stuff off of here. This is gonna be tedious in itself, but I can talk to you guys while I'm doing this. And I gotta get this off. You don't want to leave this cotton on here. I can leave it in the hair because I'm going to put a little color to this white. I don't know. I've got. Now I don't know if you guys have seen the movie yet. Hold on, I need my glasses. I can't see your text. I try and keep them on the top of my head. Okay. Tectonic. What's up, John? Monster Blood Effects. Kevin here. Okay, cool. Tectonic, love it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna overhaul this, and I'm kind of gonna wing it, because I kind of know how to do all the weathering and everything to it. It already has a really good color in it. All right, this side needs to be darker, and especially in the eye sockets and here, this, a little more browns, a little more, up in the top of the head. There has to be some browns. This gunshot area here where he got hit in the cheek, there has to be a little more red tones in here, and a little more, just some old blood effects. I want some browns. I got different washes that I'm going to do to this thing. And my final wash, once all the colors are in place, will be an ink wash. But it'll be it'll be broke down with some rubbing alcohol here at 99%. I don't use anything else. I use 99%. I don't use the 70%. I don't know that you can, but you know what? And I'm kind of curious. I'm looking at this stuff and I'm wondering what they used to tack this down. It looks like it might be some sort of glue that they stuck on the mask, because it doesn't look like it's latex. I might be wrong though, because latex, well, no, it looks a little crystallized. I can see some crystallization, so there's a good chance that this is a glue that's on here. But you have to get the or I want to call it cobwebbing. You got to get the moss or mold or whatever it's supposed to be off of this thing. You don't want that left on there. Not with your paint. Now, I've seen guys completely repaint the surface, completely redo it, and I think it's not unnecessary. There's a little pimple here. Check that out. Go on now. I'll have to touch that up. Little defect in that mask. Now, I don't know that I'll get it all out of here perfectly. I'm wondering if I can use some. I might use some. What the hell do you call it? Come on. Lacquer thinner. Yeah, this is glue. Yeah, this is glued on here. Okay, that's good. I think if I put lacquer thinner on here, this will come right off and rub it off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think lint, you can be specific with the color lint you want to put in here too. So what you do is you clean your lint tray out on your dryer, you know, and then maybe do something that's got some darker colors with some greens and maybe some green sweats, new sweats, you know, dark green sweats and some, you know, this way you have a better, you don't want white. I don't, I, I don't know, just, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look natural with the white moss or white. I mean, if you think about it, black moss actually, I mean, it's very dangerous and unhealthy. I don't know, man. It's yeah, this is gonna take some. Mm-mm-mm. There's a lot of spots in here. You really want to make sure the stuff's out of the detail. You don't want it inside the deep crevices because that's where your paint's gonna grab. You know what? I'm half tempted to go get that lacquer thinner out real quick. It'll stink up the house though. To shut that door. Do a rub out with it. And just rub it. Really not stuck on that great. This is like a toenail clipper that I'm using. It's got a really good pincher on it, so you can really grab at it and kind of pull it away, as you can see. Oh, yuck. So let's talk about the Halloween Ends. Who's seen it? I don't want to give away any spoilers. I've seen it. Didn't like it. Not a little bit. Not a little bit. Just wish they would keep political. I would say political correctness. How's that? Is that a better way to say it? I don't know. Keep it out of it. Keep it out of our entertainment. You know, everything's a statement. I'm so sick of it. So sick of it. Everything's always somebody trying to make a statement with a movie. You know, I don't need to throw names out there, but they know who they are. They know who they are. You know what? Entertain me. Don't preach to me. How's that? How's that? Does that make any sense? So, love the masks. Can't go wrong with these masks. These masks are really good. You know, I love the guy that did the masks. He did a really great job on all three of the movies. This mask is definitely, especially this one, well for me, because I got a big head. And the Halloween Ends mask is really big. It's big. I think it's 25 and a half inches. And that's how big my mask is. My small version of my mask is 25 and a half inches. It's the same size as this mask when I do the small mask. I have a 27 and a half inches for my brother, mainly because he's a giant. But it's crazy. It's just coming off pretty easy. You know. Do I mind if a little bit's in there? No, I don't think that'll matter. Because once I do the paint on there, it's not going to really, you're not going to really see it. I'm also going to be putting more moss on it, but it won't be white. It won't be pure white like this. I just don't agree with that moss theory. Am I trying to make this movie accurate? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. What do you guys want? What do you want me to do? Movie accurate, or just kind of do my own kind of unique paint job to it? You know, I'm still trying to get some really good still shots of the actual mask. That's partially the problem here. You know, I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let me read your text. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, make my own little twist to it, because I think, you know, I don't. It's bad enough that this is actually the mold from the actual movie. You know, it came from the actual mold. So, and I don't mean bad enough. I mean, you love it as a fan. But the problem is, as an artist, the hardest work is already done in this mask, and that's the sculpture. And the paint job on this mask, more than all the other masks, is actually pretty good. It's not a bad paint job. It's not too bad. I mean, it can be improved upon. And that's exactly what you do to this. You don't actually have to repaint the whole thing, because the color depth is there. You have that greenish, yellowish look to it, and all the details are in there, and they, they just need to be a little bit more popped, and I got to add more darker colors into the V area here. There's a little bit more browning that goes in here, and in the eyes area here, some more darkening in here. There's just things that have to be done to it that make it look more accurate. I can see all the changes in the sculpt, and I think what I'm going to do is add some cool blood effects, but not blood staining effects to the bottom of this mask, as it's very dark down in this area. We're going to darken that area pretty good, and add some blood, a little bit of blood effect to it. I did see one of the guys I follow here on, I can't think of his name now, it's going to drive me crazy, but before I start painting this thing, I think I want to try and look his mask up, because I really, really liked what he did to his paint job. And I'm going to copy a little bit of it. I don't want to copy everything. I want to use some of his ideas of what he did, but I also want to put my own twist to it too. So there's not too much I can do to it, because it's already, because like the sculpture is actually dictates exactly what you can and can't do to it. You know, we already know the storyline is basically this. Well, that is a glue. That would come right off if I just put some, if I rag on some, yeah, that's glue. I can see it here. It's on my thumb. It's glue. Let me zoom the camera in just a little bit better for you guys. All right? So you guys can see it a little bit better. I got hair all over me. I'm a mess. Got stuff all over me. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to take this hair completely off and start over again, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to spend money on this mask. It's got good hair. It looks pretty creepy. It's got all the, it even has a little green into the hair here. It's pretty crazy, but I do not like the look of this so-called super white moss. I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna go get me a rag. I need rags to do this. I need a stiff rag. And I'm gonna. Do I want to try it with naphtha first, or do I want to try it with? Just get right to it. Open up my door here so the air goes out, so we can breathe in here. Paint thinner or lacquer thinner. If I get lacquer thinner, man, that stuff stinks really bad. But it'll get this off really fast and clean. It'll clean it right off. And the glue will melt and this stuff will come right off. Might take a little bit of the paint off too, the paint job that's on here, but that's okay. Maybe I won't do. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't want to have to repaint the base paint. I don't want to do that. I just want to get this stuff off of here. So let me try a rag and naphtha. And while I'm out here, I'm going to zoom in on the mask while I'm going to get my naphtha. Here's my naphtha. And I'm going to zoom the camera in. Now I'm going to move the camera just a little bit because my damn chair's in the way. Sorry. But I need, you know what, I'm going to use fresh naphtha. Second thought, I'm going to use some fresh naphtha that I didn't open because that's got some clay in it. So you can see it a little bit better, guys. You can see what I'm doing. God dang it. There you go. All right, you can see that a little better. I need a backlight on this side. Let me go get a rag. All right, I'm back. Got some pumpkin plates for my, here you go. Got some pumpkin plates. I'm gonna use them for paints when I go to paint this thing. All right, let's get in my chair again. My infamous chair. I got the pink cozy couch here. All right. Let's see. What do you got? What do you guys got to say? No, you really don't, Bo. Okay. Tectonic. Yeah, freaking pumpkin plates. Cool. Let's see. It actually has more detail, better detail in this mask than uh, the kills, because man, they really carved into this. All these little things you're seeing here on this face, they're really in the mask, man. If you haven't seen this mask up front, it's really a good mask. They did a great job. All right, so I need to open this. No biggie. Got my little rag. There we go. And let's try this approach here. Let's see, hopefully the naphtha does it. I hate putting this stuff on my fingers, but I'm going to get my hands a little wet with naphtha, which I should have some gloves on, but I don't have any open cuts on my finger, on my... All right, so I'm going to go right up here. I'm going to push this up onto this. Oh yeah, it's eating that glue. It's eating the glue right off. Yep. Yeah, it's not taking the paint off. That's good. That's what I want to see. Let me try and hit it. Let me dry it. See, that's the thing with naphtha. It's pretty strong. It'll eat glue up. It'll take the glue off. But yeah, I don't know though. I can still see some fibers on here. Let me see if I can peel them off. Yeah, I can still. Whoa, that's a little much. What it's doing is it's dissolving the glue a little bit, and then the stuff gets, it feels like it's a little slimy, because the glue is definitely, oh, look at that. Look at the detail that's inside the crack there. That wasn't in the other one. That wasn't in Kills. Yeah, it's making it peel right out of there. Oh yeah. See, I'm pulling on it and I'm seeing little strings of glue coming off. That's all they did was stick a little glue on there. My guess would be, no, it's a little bit more elastic, a little bit more flexibility than plastic, or what's the glue that I usually use? Tacky glue. Tacky glue's pretty solid. Yeah, that look how clean that came out. Yeah, all I have to do is, even though that it's not pulling it completely off, if I wipe the area real good, just to get the glue melted somewhat, then I go in there and I just pull it out. It's coming right off. Might be mistaken here. Hold on. Man, oh man. Whatever that stuff is, it's pretty sticky once this stuff hits it. It's slippery and then it starts getting real sticky again. Even the naphtha's blowing my mind right now. I'm using literally a towel, the rougher material. Yeah, rubbed onto here. Stuff evaporates so fast. All this is lighter fluid. That's what naphtha is. You know, parts of me think that I should have just waited and got all this stuff off so I didn't put it on camera. You know, but you know what? This is how you learn. Not everything's easy. You see how it's flaking up? See, if you see that, I don't know if you can see it flaking up. It's coming off. It's all over my towel too. So it is working. And what I like about naphtha is it doesn't eat the paint off. If you use a paint, now the paint thinner will take this right off, no problem. Or lacquer thinner, not should I say paint, not paint thinner, lacquer thinner. It'll take it right off, but it'll also take the paint off, and you don't want to do that. At least I don't want to do that because I don't want to make this into a massive project. I just haven't been able to do my mold, so I got to do something for the channel. I can't just put update, update, update. You know, this is driving me crazy because I want to get something done. Yeah, driving me crazy. I hate the winter time, man. I might even I might attempt this tomorrow. I have a block of wood that's the same size as this table. I'm thinking about putting it on top of this, and then grabbing my spin disc that I use to do my molding, and I may plaster mold my sculpture right here on this table instead of going outside. Because I'm not going to, I thought about it, I'm like, you know, I'm going to have to do this inside anyway, because after I get done retooling this, I don't want to stop this winter and wait for summer. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that again. I want to work right through the winter. I want to get some projects done, and if I have to mold right in here in the house, that's what I'm going to do. Let me just get this good and wet and break this monotonous stuff off of here. You see how it's coming off here? It's just to go in here and start pulling it off now once. Yeah, it's glue and all's coming off because the glue's sticking to the fiber, and the fiber is pulling the glue off with the fiber. Come on, get off me. Man, there's so much on this towel. Okay. I want to get into this area here real good, and the ear. Do that, I want to get it right up on top of this. Some say I would, a little sandpaper, that'll take it off, yeah, along with the rubber and the mask and the paint and everything else. I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, I pulled that right out of there. That's pretty wild. You know, I think when they made this, when they painted this mask, they wanted to make it look good enough to where people weren't overhauling them. But I'm sorry, when it comes to the movie versus what they did, it's a lot better paint job, trust me. But it's still not movie accurate. It could be better. Let's just say that. But what are you gonna? You know, this is $70, $80 mask now. They're $80. These masks. You know, but you're getting a movie. It's from the movie mold. It's definitely that. And I'll tell you right now, man, the detail is stunning. It's still in this mask. It's just, maybe I got a good copy, I don't know. But I saw, like, I was at Spirit of Halloween at their main base store in Pleasantville, New Jersey, and I live only 30 miles away from that store. Um, I was at Spirit of Halloween, and they had like 5 or 6 of these masks on the shelf, and they all look good. You know, I just picked this one over the rest of them. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember why. Um, I can't remember why I picked this one over the other ones. I think there was just a little bit better detail in the mask itself. It had more detail that you can see. It's time consuming, guys. Anything that's worth it is time consuming. You know. Am I going to get all this off? I'm hoping. Let me read your comments because I can't. I got my glasses off again. You guys don't. And once again, I have the mask out of frame. Hold on. Because I'm pulling the mask towards my chest to work on it. There we go. A little better. All right, let me read your comments. Sorry for doing that. I just keep pulling this mask towards me. Okay, let's see. Hey, Hard Dude 86, how we doing? What did I think of the movie? Let's just say I have Peacock. I'm so happy I didn't pay for this movie. I did not like the movie a little bit. I just wish they would keep political correctness out of it. Stop trying to make statements. And I could give you a list of things that are wrong with this movie right from the jump, but I'm not going to do all that. I'm not bashing. I'm not going to bash. I love the franchise. That's the problem. I just hope they release the franchise and somebody picks up and then just does what they did with the timeline and they skip, like they skipped Halloween 2, the original, you know, with the hospital and everything. And what they can do is pick up right where Kills left off. Because I did like Kills. I liked Kills. I thought Michael was a badass. I didn't like the script writing in Kills. I didn't like the script writing in any of the two movies. I thought the writing was weak. I think the dialogue was very weak. In spots, the storylines were weak. But if I had to grade the movie based on Michael, let's just base it on Michael Myers. It was more creative with Michael Myers and a lot more kills than there was in 2018, the 2018 version. The 2018 version, once again, I'm not a fan of Laurie Strode. I think that they should have finally killed her off, but they didn't. She's the survivor. Oops, I hope I didn't spoil that for anybody on here. Jesus. Sorry about that, guys. You know, it's just awful. It's just not, it's just, you watch it, it's so confusing. It is so, I mean, it's all over the place. It feels like all they're trying to do is make a statement about how brutal it was on the people. Michael Myers and what he did to the community, and how it affected everybody, and the drama queen stuff. That's exactly what I thought of it. I mean, it was all too much drama. It's supposed to be a horror movie, not a drama. All right. I stand. My wife's believes in women's rights and all that stuff. She's not hardcore. like a lot of people are, you know. But she's for women's rights, and I stand by her with that too. You know, she's a self-made person. She's really good at what she does. She's a pharmacist. She put herself through school. Um, no help at all. She paid for everything, and she's a self-made person, and that takes a lot of strength, especially in the women's world. So I'm behind that. I just don't want this shoved down my throat, you know, in a horror movie. All right, it also felt like a documentary to me. Have you watched the movie and you watch how she's uh, talking? She's actually writing the story about what happened to her in the movie. You know what I mean? And or throughout the 40 years. And for me, I don't need that kind of horror flick. Sorry, you just turned a horror movie into a drama. It just wasn't there. It wasn't there for me. And the way they went above and beyond to kill Michael Myers off was over the top. You know what I mean? They wanted to kill the franchise. That was what they were aiming to do, and they did. With the way they killed him, they definitely achieved that. Um, so if you haven't seen it, you know, sorry, but it's a little bit of a rant. But you know, I didn't spend no money on it, so I'm happy. I sure as hell wouldn't. I'm so glad I didn't go to the theater. Me and my brother were supposed to go Monday night to the theater. And then I kept seeing all these bad reviews, and I mean bad reviews. And I've had friends that are on here. Pipe Master called me directly on my, you know, you're actually, yeah, no, he has my phone number. He called me directly, and he basically said, you know, what a piece of crap. I said, oh, okay. And after he kind of said that, that was it. I was like, I'm not spending money on this movie. You know, Gordon Green's done with it anyway, so why am I worrying about whether or not they make another one? I kind of don't want them to do it again. Although I would like to see the guy that made the mask back to do another mask, or you know, pick up where he left off with this. Um, but he may never want to either. Trust me, I'm doing these masks too, and I gotta tell you, you spend a lot of time on these masks, man. You get tired of doing one type of mask all the time. I don't think I could do what Nick Mulpagana does, and literally just do Michael Myers forever. That's not my game. That's not my game plan. As soon as I get done these masks, I'm doing an H1. Well, the 78 is done already. Just have to mold it. All right. And then I'm going to move on to the 2018. All right. I was thinking about doing a flashback mask from here, but I would have to change the sculpture so much compared to what it looks like now, because I bumped out that scowl, and everything looks real good. It looks closer to the original 78 now than it ever did. So it was like, do I want to try and go back and do the cheek line's different. Everything's different in that. What I did do is I gave it the element of the lip line. The lip line is the flashback. On my sculpture, my lip line is the flashback mask. It's a combination of flashback and the original I'm going to say Captain Kirk mask, the Shatner mask. I'm almost there, guys. It's a pain in the neck getting this stuff off of here. It's funny, the glue's melted. It's sticking to my finger. Look at this. I can't get the. Pretty cool. Any other comments? Yep. Hold on. Glasses back on. I constantly put my glasses back on. Terrifier 2 sounds great. Maybe it will. I haven't seen Terrifier 1 yet. Who was it? Pipe Master. Once again, he turned me on to yeah, Pipe Master was talking about the Terrifier with me, and I think I'm going to see the first one first before I attempt seeing the second. Um, Pray for the Devil looks like it will be good too, huh, Bo? I don't think I've seen the I haven't really watched a lot of TV lately. I've been really busy. Yeah, Pressman. He was weak in this Ends movie. He was a beast, just like you said, in Halloween Kills, and I think that's what made that movie because the dialogue didn't carry it, the script writing didn't carry it, and some of the things, the chants, and it was just stupid. Um, there was a lot of things I didn't like about it, but it didn't affect how good Michael was. Michael was absolutely great in that movie. Um, James Jude Courtney played him to a T. I like him. He's my number one Michael Myers now, over Nick Castle. I hate to say it. Nick Castle had that walk and had all that, had everything down. Uh, Dick Warlock, I liked him as well. But Dick Warlock, and this is why I liked it. In Halloween, the original Halloween 2, Dick Warlock, I don't know if he did this on purpose, if somebody uh, had suggested that he had to play it the way he played it. But what I liked about it was Michael was already shot, what, 6, 7 times, stabbed in the throat with the needle in 1978. I'm talking about the original, and at the end he was shot 7 times. See, it was kind of hard to sell that he was human in Halloween 2. So my question is to Dick Warlock, if he ever, because I did give him one of my masks, by the way, guys, and I got a picture on my way here to me from my brother that he talked to him directly, and we went and seen him at Monster Mania, and really got the chance to talk to him because we were the last ones to see him before he went on break. We were the last ones in line to sit and talk with him, so we had an extra 5 or 10 minutes because they weren't ready to go upstairs yet. So it was kind of interesting. He's like, "Oh no, guys, hang out." And at the same time, I gave him one of my masks that I made, the H2 version. And if you've seen my other videos, you've seen that mask. I gave him a small mask, the H2, and he loved it. And apparently it's on his office. It's in his office over everybody else's, so which is really cool, I don't think anybody really gives him stuff like that. He was really kind of blown away. And hell, he even gave me a hug. I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. I don't get really starstruck because I've met a lot of stars through the years. But for whatever reason, I really was starstruck with Dick Warlock. I really was. And he started telling me things and stuff. And man, when you're like that, you can't even hear what they're saying. You're just like, huh. It was pretty interesting. It was a really cool day. I really, really had a great time meeting him. And he has one of my masks that I gave to him that day. And my brother has been talking to him quite often. And I've just been so busy, I haven't had time to reach out to him yet. He actually signed my picture, and when I get it here, I'll show it to you guys. That he says, "Thanks for the mask," and I don't know what else it says on there. I just have to check it out. Um, but I know he keeps it simple because he's got a. I can't imagine how many times a day he fills out autographed pictures, and it's crazy. You can't believe it, but that man is so busy with that stuff, especially at Halloween time. Oh, oh man, you're talking about Dick Warlock, Michael Myers part, in Halloween too. It's a wonder that he's not going to. And that man's 82 years old. He's not young anymore. So it's kind of neat. I hope it's not the last time I see him, but it could be, because of just because he's getting up there in age. But I hope he lives. I hope he outlives me. He was that nice of a guy. Um, um, your question has been unanswered for decades, up until now. It still isn't answered. Nobody knows how Loomis survived, and it never really was explained. It's just that he survived, and you know, Michael in part two supposedly didn't survive Bo Norton. Yeah, Pressman, you're right. That soundtrack was really good on Halloween too, or Halloween Kills. Really, really good, man. It was awesome. I was like, man, and Halloween one didn't have the best soundtrack, or Halloween 2018 didn't have the soundtrack that Halloween Kills did. Uh, just kind of really weird. They I don't know why they didn't just stick to what works. You know what I mean? Why did they go crazy with this bull crap in this ends movie? They should have kept going with that. So I don't know. I know that they're trying to kill the franchise. Now if that's the case, you know, God, just sell the franchise to somebody else, make a lot of money, be happy. You did your movies with it, and then let somebody else pick up the timeline right where Kills ended, and make it the same night. That would be ironic, wouldn't it? That would not be cool. Guys, this is liable to take all the time that I'm going to do tonight, just getting this crap off of here. I have to get this off, and this, especially in this area. This is where the burnt is, so it's got to be a little bit darker yellow and browns in here. So I can't have hair here, or fur, or whatever the hell this stuff is. Lint, cotton, whatever it is. I got to have all this off of here. And especially with this glue now, this glue is trying to come off on its own without it. This sucks. I'm probably gonna have to wash this down with paint thinner. Yeah, I think I'm going to break out the paint thinner and open up that door. Because even the fumes from this is getting to me. Alright, so let's do that. Let's try and get this off of here with the paint thinner. Get it out, get it off completely. Yeah, I got it off of there. That's good. There's just spots. There's like a spot right here, right up in here, along here, a little bit up in this area, and back here on the neck area. I got to get the stuff off of there. So let me get my. I'm going to use the same. Well, I don't know if I should use the same thing. I guess I could put the paint thinner on this end of the towel. I just don't want to cross-contaminate. God knows, might make a lethal chemical reaction. I might have, you know what, I'm going to get a different towel, just in case. Play it safe, baby. Don't mess around. I might have to walk away for a minute. Well, let me get my paint thinner first. And I'm going to open up the back door. This is stinking too much. Okay. Let me get my paint thinner, which is behind me. I've got stuff all over, lint all over me. Swimming in it. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this board on top of here, and it'll pick up all the weight, and it'll be because I noticed with my spinning table, it's only that big around the base. So what happens is it creates a sag in the table itself. So if I put a nice big chunk of wood here, I think I actually got a cutting block I can put on here, a cutting board. I'll put it on here and then put the clay spinning thing. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but there's actually a name for it. It's made for, you know, spinning clay when you're doing clay. Anyway, yeah, look at the pic. Look at this, guys. Look at the detail in that mask. All right, where is my paint thinner? Two more nap though. Where the hell did the paint thinner go? Aha! I found it. I gotta go all the way over there to get it. Jesus criminy. Man, this is terrible not having the room the way I want it. I can't get the stuff done the way I want it. Oh, wait a minute. What do I got here? That's acetone. I don't know if I want to use that. Let me go get, I got my my lacquer thinner right here. Let me go get another towel because I can't use that towel. Okay, I'm back. But I gotta open up this back door. I gotta open up this back door, guys. Give me a second. I'm just gonna bump you a little forward here. Jesus. That lacquer thinner is just too strong. I shut my... Ooh. There we go. Open up my back door. Shut my studio door into the house so it doesn't stink up the whole house. And now we're going to get some progress done here. At this point, I don't care whether I take paint off or not. I'm going to order some really good paints. Let me read your comments, guys. Oh, Angelo. That's actually pretty funny. You might be right about that. We'll get another mask. We'll stick it in the shredder and call it Halloween Ends. I don't know. The real ends. I don't know what the hell you would. I don't. It's just it's pathetic what they did. I mean, it's a horrible, really bad. They really wrecked it, you know, and they purposely tried to destroy the franchise by killing him the way they did. No doubt in my mind. Oof, yeah, I gotta get whiffs of that. Woo-wee, baby! I'm going to get high tonight. Hopefully I don't have to do this very long. Hopefully this takes it right off in no time. Just trying to keep my fingers out of this stuff. Alright. Glasses out of the way. Damn it. What doesn't get it come off is just going to be buried in paint. So that's just the way I'm going to have to play it. Maybe they did this on purpose to keep us overhaulers from wanting to tackle this mask. Putting this stuff all over it. Man. I'm glad I don't do a lot of overhauls. This mask isn't for sale. This is going to be for me. I'm doing it for the YouTube channel to see what you're doing. You know, and I'm going to let my brother use this mask on Halloween if he chooses to, because I can't get his mask done in time. There's no way. So, well, I'm not even going to attempt taking that out of there. I'm just going to put some latex over top of this and darken it up a little bit. Unbelievable. This stuff's unbelievable. I thought this would just melt right off with this on here, but it's not really melting off. What you doing? Messed me up here. Scared the crap out of me. My buddy Angelo come popping through the back door. I live in the woods, guys. That's how you get shot. Anyway, so what's going on?
Yeah, not
You
much.
done your stream?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's coming off, huh?
Yeah, but it's, man, is it a pain in the...
Oh, you're trying to get all that lint and whatnot off?
Yeah, because you got to
Right.
paint it, and
Right,
you
I mean-
can't really paint it with all that junk on there. I think they're doing it. I think they did it on purpose, just to keep us overhaulers from overhauling it.
Why was it on there? Is it like
It's
to give like
supposed
a
to
mossy
be like
look?
cave moss, you know, but
Yeah.
cave moss wouldn't be white. I don't
Wouldn't it be
understand.
dark?
I would
Cave
think that it
moss?
would be like a greenish, mildewy, you know. That would be my thing. I would think that it would be like almost a green color, not really white. But who am I? What do I know? You know, I'm just an artist. I think they did this on purpose just to keep us from friggin' just making this extra step a nightmare. Unbelievable. So I ain't touching the hair. I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna paint like I'm gonna mist it where several shades of green, and give it a real mossy look. Um, More so than this stuff. You know, it's coming off. You see, the thing is, the glue is there. So the problem is
It's embedded. Looks like.
yeah, it's not really embedded. It's on the surface, but you have to. You know, if you can get 99% of it off, you're good. You know, you try to. I've seen guys putting sandpaper to it and everything. I thought, oh my God, I ain't doing that to the mask. I'm gonna let Keith use this if he wants to. I don't even know if he wants to. The bad reviews that the movie's getting, I don't see anybody wanting.
Dude, one of the big horror forums smoked the movie completely. Like, they're like, we have no idea. The synopsis of it was like, what was the point of the kid being like doing what was the point of the kid doing what he was doing? Because that would have been great if they
Yeah,
killed
there
off
was
Michael
just-
and then the kid took over for him. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but you got to write a better story.
Oh well,
on,
that's what I mean. Like,
you know what I could have seen that.
I mean, they
with,
killed the kid. I'm just like, what
You know what I could
doing?
have seen better than that? I would have in Halloween Kills, instead of killing off Tommy Doyle, make him turn into the Michael Myers thing. I don't know. There was definitely what made no sense is like they hinted towards supernatural by him transferring when they grabbed each other.
Yeah.
And they transferred visions of what they each saw of their own lives. Okay, well that to me is supernatural. So now all of a sudden you're going to go, oh, he's supernatural. Oh, wait a minute, no, he's still human. Give me a break.
Yeah.
And then he's weak on top of it.
And
Oh.
and if
Did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch the rest of it.
You got to watch it. You got to watch it just to be able to criticize on it really well. The movie's all over the place. It doesn't have any continuity to it. Jamie Lee Curtis, I just wish she died right in 2018. Just to kill her off right at the very beginning like they did with the other ones. I don't like her as an actress, but that's just me. I hate the political twist to it. That that it's not so much political. What's the right word?
Political correctness.
Well, it's correctness, but it's not even that. It was more like, let's raise awareness. Let's use this movie as a platform to raise awareness about any issue. It just, I don't like that approach. I don't want to be preached to. I don't want to, and this felt like a damn documentary. The first portion of the movie, when she starts talking and everything, all of a sudden it's like this big documentary. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a horror movie. Get on with it. 4 years forward. They still went trick-or-treating, though, didn't they? The whole town went trick-or-treating still. They had a pretty short memory. I don't know, man. What the hell do I know? I'll tell you, I think anybody could have written a better script. Anybody. And you can leave that to your own imagination.
And I also heard that the director pulled a lot of stuff from like Nick Castle and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Pulled it from him?
Like got him worked with them hand in hand to create this movie. I'm just like, what? Wait a minute. If you're the director, why are you taking pointers?
I would never listen to Jamie Lee Curtis. She's too much of activist. That's the right word. She's an activist. That's what I feel like a movie was. I felt like it was one big activist, like, sorry, don't preach. Just give me Michael Myers. Entertain me. Don't act. Don't preach to me.
Yep. What happened to his ear? It's missing. Got burned?
That's part of the aging process of the mask, I guess. The one thing I can say about the whole scenario, though, is we got some really good mask out of this.
It really took it off there, huh?
Yeah, it did, but I had to really work it to get it off. Oh man, I'm just right now trying to get the glue. See how that's stuck together? Here,
Yeah, well,
that's the glue that's on there.
Yeah.
That's the glue melding from the lacquer thinner.
Holy shit! You got a lacquer thinner on there?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's not taking the paint off, so the paint must be made out of something
It's a latex-based paint.
I know that, but usually latex paint. Well, no, the latex wouldn't peel either. That's right. You know what? I'll bet this is that guy's stuff. What's his name? Anybody tries to peel the paint off of this and change the paint on it, you just got to paint over it because you're never going to get this paint off. Forget it. I don't know how anybody strips this down. There's no way. This stuff's not even denting the paint job at all. It's not giving it any, it's not washing it off at all. I was like, wow. I was worried that the paint was going to start coming off, and it's not. Is anybody making comments? Saying hello? Let me see, what do we got? Go to the bathroom. End sucks, John. I got an idea. Just get another one of. Oh no, that was Angelo who wrote that. Okay. Oh yeah, Pressman. That's exactly my thoughts on that. I mean, I'm not kidding. I could write a better script. I know I could. I know I could write a better story than that. I have a vivid and wild imagination. And horror movies, I hate to say this, but they're kind of the easiest. And why I say that is what you do is you got to come up with a bunch of clever kills. That's your storyline. Clever kills. And you gotta make it all intertwined, and then you kind of make a story to get to the ends of of wherever you're trying to go with it. And with me, I would always leave a movie off with a cliffhanger, because I would never kill off Michael Myers. I would never kill off Jason. I wouldn't kill him. I wouldn't. It's just you leave it as a cliffhanger, and you move forward to the next movie. You know what I mean? Because you can keep right on making money with these movies. I don't understand anybody that wouldn't do it. And now with today's technology, we don't need these big high-tech studios. You don't. You can make a movie right from your own damn bedroom. If you have the equipment and the hardware and the software and the computer power. It's unbelievable what you can do today, and you can really achieve everything with filters and everything else. You can shoot the movie real plain, as long as you know how to use well, even that. Now I think about it. Now you can. There's so much they can do just in the editing department. The biggest key to success in a movie today is your editor. Your editor has to be amazing. The better the editor, the better the movie comes out. So who needs Hollywood? The problem is, will they release the movie? Can somebody buy the rights to the movie? Will they sell the movie rights to to Michael Myers? God, I hope so. If they don't, we're probably never going to see another Michael Myers movie. They're going to try to make as much money as they can, but I'll tell you right now, they really screwed up. They really screwed up, man, because they whatever money they were going to make with this franchise outside of the masks, they're not going to make with that movie. What a lousy piece of crap that was. I'm sorry. All right, I said I wasn't going to get, but the more about it, the more angry I kind of get because of the fact that you know that there's a good chance that you're never going to see another Michael Myers movie, as long as they hang on to the rights. And I'll tell you right now, if I was CGI is amazing today, right? And I'll give you a little hint to what I would do in the opening scene. I would take that scene, if you got the rights, you can do it. I would take the opening scene where Laurie's daughter is getting killed, and I would CGI Laurie Strode in that scene. And then have Laurie Strode dead, and then have the daughter still alive. Laurie Strode's daughter, she would go on. That's how I would have done this movie. I mean, it would have been. That's how I would have done Kills, or Ends. That's where I would have picked up from, and I would have never had Laurie Strode as the survivor. She needed to die, but then I'm a little biased because I don't like her. I don't like her fakey. She just seems so fake. The way she acts. And she used to be a great actress. She was really good when she was young. She really was. She just got too, I don't know, get caught up into activism stuff and, using everything as a platform to do something. I get it. You want to do something good, but man, you don't destroy a movie in the process. That's the thing. Don't completely ruin a movie just because you want to. I don't know. It just felt so fake, and it was so, oh man, in every direction. Confusing to watch the movie. It really was. It was really stupid and confusing. You know what? I'm done with this. I can't get any more of this shit off of here. What's on here is going to stay on here. I'm going to have to recover it anyway with stuff. So now I got to think of what I'm going to do. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I never even did the cheek. Now I got an idea. I'm going to take the brush that I have. I got chemical brushes here. I just want to get some of this out of this ear area. Gotta get some of this in this ear. This is what I should have done. Should have done right from the get-go. Put it on a paintbrush, and then wipe it into the areas that has this. Unbelievable. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a sec. Well, actually, I don't need to. Let's get inside that cheek real good. And I think, yeah, it did. It took that oh yeah. Perfect. Big clump of it came right out of there. Just let it sit in there for a second. It doesn't look like you can see it on camera. I can see what I'm doing here. Just trying to get this moss off of here, for lack of a better word. Crap. Wow. You can see the glue coming right off of this. This is crazy. Pulling it right off. I just found a new technique. All right, I'm gonna share this with you guys. If you guys overhaul a mask, take your, see what I'm doing here? I've got a wet towel with the lacquer thinner, and I'm literally pinching the surface of the mask right where the stuff's at, and it's pulling it right off, glue and all. But you want to soak it just a little bit. Yeah, it all came out of here, completely gone out of there. Perfect. And see, there's a little bit right here, right on this ear. Wow, pulled it right off. Gone. Okay. That's pretty much it. Okay, I got my plates. I'm gonna put the cap on this door, or this stuff, so it don't stink. Whew. Getting high over here, man. It's bad. Some would do an airbrush, but I'm going to just do, I'm just going to take this brush here. I'm going to start applying some color washes. And I have my spray bottle of water in here. Hold on a second. I'm even going to actually use, I'll use the naphtha towel to wash off the remaining paint. We're just going to keep doing washes and keep doing washes. The final wash is all the dark lines and stuff that are inside the mask. All that gets embedded in there. It's going to look really good when it's done. Okay, so I'm trying to see what color this is. And pretty much, that looks like it's it right there. Of course. Oh, it opened. Wait a minute. Let me, why open that? Hold on. I got one open over here. I'm gonna have to get this turned just a little bit. I'm just adding a little bit more depth and color washes into areas. I need some burnt umber, burnt sienna. Where's my green? There's my green. What else do I want? I got a little bit of red here, just to give it a little tone in here, but very little. I should use some blood splatter. Just gonna put a little on the plate. You guys can't see it, but just a tiny bit. I'm not using a lot there. I need my water. Spray bottle, there it is. Shoot, it figures. Let me see, don't I have another one in here? Looking for my other I had two of them. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, it ain't. Is it? Yeah, that's it. That's the one I want. That's the full one. And it's a better one. Give me a second, guys. This old body don't move like it used to. Alright, so we're going to just wet that paint just a little bit. Not sure I like this paint here though. You know what? That looks too pinkish to me, so I'm not going to use that paint. I'm going to actually use the blood. I've got theater blood here. This stuff's amazing. So we need to put a little dab of that right there. And we need such a little amount of that stuff. Shoot. It's got to be a dry brush. Now this is going to get other colors over top of it, so you don't really see it as bright red like it is here right now. Just adding some dimension, a little bit of color. Have to move fast with this stuff because it dries pretty quick. This blood effect. The other thing I want to do is in here. Just adding a little red tone is all I'm doing. I'm not trying to put blood in there. I'm just trying to make it turn a little red. Maybe some red tones, and there's going to be some brown tones in that. I'm just winging this, man. These brushes aren't good for this. I need to get different brushes for this, especially for dry brush and stuff. Gets really dark in here, that's for sure. Yeah, I think I need to get different brushes. I'm going to do this. This is chemical brushes. They're bristle brush. I need more of a finer hair brush. Is that open? Is this one open? Wow, what the hell? All sienna. I think I should look at some pictures. I think I should. All right, so what's going on with the Flashback 78 mask? Um, are you asking me as the actual mask, or am I doing the actual? Am I going to do the flashback? I'm still thinking about the flashback. I'm not sure whether I really want to do the flashback. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people might like that mask. If I'm going to do that mask, it's going to be the very last mask that I do because I have to literally change the sculpture quite a bit to do that mask, and I'm trying to get this 78 that I have here right now is going to be the base sculpture for when I do the 18, the kills, and the ends mask. I'm going to replicate these masks, not to a T though. I'm going to make it my mask is going to look like it's going to be aged to look like this. Yeah, you know what? I may have to stop. I hate to do this to you guys, but I may have to stop on this because I got to get better brushes. I'm out of brushes. I used a lot of brushes on my other project that I was doing. What a nightmare that was. I used a lot of product that I didn't want to use. But when I was doing the Jason costume, I had to use a lot of my brushes. And I think what I'm going to do too is I need pictures up on my studio on my I'm live with you guys doing this. All right, but I think I'm going to do this video as an upload because I need to look at pictures. I can't do this without pictures in front of me. I want to make sure that I replicate what I want. I'm taking bits and pieces of different people's overhauls, concepts, and then I'm going to put my own little twist on it. But I want to get it close to that first before I do, and then from there I will. Upload the video so you can see everything I did. I just won't be live. I won't be live doing it. I guess I got to get new brushes anyway. The brushes aren't going to work here. And I mean, I literally don't have any brushes left. None. Zero. So I'm kind of at a standstill. That sucks. I wanted to do this tonight, man. I really was into this. And this, I'll do some brown washes and some, I'll darken that up. I'm not worried about the red. You want a little bit of the red in there, but not a lot, just very little. See, the blood ran down. The blood ran down this way, so I was putting a little bit of a stain in here. That's all, but not. I don't want any blood now. I have to get that. I got to wash that out of there somehow, some way. That's too dark. I accidentally hit that spot. I know the direction I'm going with it as far as what I'm doing, but I really don't want to do it without some picture references, just to get some good tones. I can just completely wing it, but I want to actually try and find actual screen used pictures, because if I can get the screenshots, screen used mask, I want the screen used mask. I want some good screen used mask pics. And then I'll really nail it because I want to be able to see exactly how this mask looks. I mean, I've seen the movie, but with all the shadowing and the dark colors in that movie, you never saw this. You need to see it in daylight. You need to see it in broad daylight to really know what it looks like. So I'm going to try and research some better pictures of the screen used mask. I mean, this thing really has some great details to it. I'd hate like hell to lose sight of making. I really want to make it a nice rendition of the. I want it to be a nice mask. That'll be awesome. So, yeah, I'm just looking at it. I got pretty much all that stuff off of there. I did get it off. There's a couple streams of it. There's a couple things here and there, but nothing that you'll notice. Paint will hide it. By the time I'm done, it'll disappear. I want to put some. That's one thing I want to try and research is how to thicken latex. Like, what can I add to it? Maybe some sort of, like, something I can add to it to thicken it up. I have my spin on this is going to be, and I hinted to it earlier in the video when I first. It's going to be a little bit of something that I'm going to do here that is way different than everybody else. And you guys are going to really like it. You're going to love what I do with that. It's going to really look cool. I have the things that I want to do to it to make it my own. I already know what I'm going to do, but I want to get the color scheme right. I want to get it accurate to the actual film, and then we'll do the moss and on the face as well. After all the paint work is done, the moss will be the last thing I do to it. But it's crazy. It's a cool mask. It really is a cool mask. I have to say, this is a really cool, scary mask. Really on the money. My mask has a little bit of a, they cut this out right in this lip area here. I don't know if everybody else is like that, but it's missing a little piece in there. But if you look back on my videos, I show you how to repair lips. If you want to get rid of a seam, you want to get rid of the slit that's in the lip, I show you how to do that. And I'm going to do that to this because I don't want the mouth to open. I don't want it to, I'm going to close these lips. Yep. I'm going to close them. And if you watch my video on how I fixed the lips on my other mask, you'll see how I did it. And I'm going to do the same thing to this. Yes, sir. Anyway, yeah, it sucks. I wanted to keep going, but I know I'm out of brushes. So, damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Michael's and get brushes. The flashback mask that I did with the eyes sunk in, I didn't, flashback mask, I never did a flashback mask. Well, let me show you the sculpture here real quick. Hold on. I'll show you it's ready for mold. I just have to, hold on. I'm taking the light off of this so you can see that. All right. Let me just take the camera off the tripod. Letting the fumes get out of the house here. All right. All right, now there's a dividing wall on there, as you can see. But this is my Night Creeper 78. This isn't the flashback mask, but I did put the flashback lips on that. I put the flashback lips. See how nice that looks? I mean, this could pass as a flashback mask. We just have to paint it. It's a paint scheme. The dividing walls on there, I just have to mold it. I have to do the back half first, and then I do the front half. So, hold on. Just for watching. There it is. That's ready to go. Maybe you can see the details a little better. Sorry for the shaking, but when you zoom in, it gets very, very. You guys like that? Yeah, this is going to be really nice when this is done. Mohair, you can get it from Etsy, but see, Etsy, it's hit and miss. Etsy can be really hit and miss. Damn it, I can't think it off the top of my head. I have to look on the computer to actually look it up. There's another place that I get my hair at. Man, I'm lethargic. I'm so tired, and I'm a little high from that damn stuff. Yeah, that's going to be the Night Creeper 78. That's what that's called right there, guys. Oh, wait, whoa, no, I just remembered it. It's called the Woolery. Look up the Woolery. You can get mohair there. I just remembered it just as you were texting, saying, okay, you'll look for it. I just remembered it. Look up the Woolery. A little expensive, but well worth it. Yeah. So I even got the eyebrows really on the money with this. They're really close. The scowl is on the money. I actually have, down on the floor here is a plastic mask. Where'd it go? Right there. That's actually a Shatner mask. That's a life cast mask. And I was able to replicate the scowl and bridge work on the nose. Everything's on the money. It's looking really good. It really changed the profile of the sculpture. You know what? Let me just give you a profile shot. I'll walk over there where my computer is right here. What you're seeing there. And you can see a side view of the. See the profile? I got the pole in the way. A little too much zoom. See the profile look? Yeah, it's really close. It's really a nice sculpture. Took me a long time. I'm telling you, to get to this point now, it's on and off, couple hours every day. It wasn't 8-hour days or anything like that. But to get to where I'm at here, you want to start doing molds. Hold on, let me read what you're saying here. I can't do it on here. Let me shut this door real quick, and then I'm gonna put the camera back on the stand so I'm not holding it and shaking, and I'll have a picture. I'll have it locked in on the face of this thing. What do you think? Let's do that. Give me a second here. Gonna move the stand or the camera. Jesus. Shut this door, man, because it's freezing out there tonight. It's cold. Give me a second. I'm so discombobbled because I have so many. Yeah, I got to get brushes. I need new brushes. Most of them I damaged and used while I was doing my. All right, so you don't see the top of the head. I'm gonna focus mainly on the face and the chin area, so you can get a good zoom in on that. Sound good? How's that? I mean, you tell me, is that close enough to the flashback? Does that represent the flashback to you? And just different paint scheme? Because what I really like to do, I don't want to have to resculpt the flashback. Uh, my plan is this, is to paint this. This can be the 78 original, or it can be the 1981 original Halloween 2. Or you can, because the Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, that was the original mask. They still used the same mask. It just fit differently on his head. And what I'm thinking about doing is make a thin casted mask, a little extra small, and then pack out the temples with some foam padding so it stretches the mask a little wider where the eye cuts are. And that'll give you a really nice Halloween 2 look. These lips that are on here on the sculpture are definitely what do you call it? Flashback. I replicated the flashback lips on there. I didn't want to do the cover art lips. I don't know if you guys know Nick Malpagano, but he does a really nice mask called 13. And I didn't want it to look like that, but I definitely, the eye cuts and everything had just the way I did my sculpture is the way I wanted it. It has a little bit of differences, and that's what makes it a night creeper. I don't want to replicate somebody else's work. I really don't. I want my own version of this mask, and I mean, if you really like somebody else's mask, that's who you buy. That's the one you go after. You know, that's if you like this, you know, hang on. You know, it's going to be in production and within the next month, I guarantee it, because it looks like I'm gonna have to mold this thing inside my studio. I think I'm gonna have to do that because it's just a little too hard not to. It's too cold outside for molding. You know, once that temperature gets below 60, the plaster doesn't want to cure right. Oh, I'm trying to read what you're saying here. Really? Tech Talks, you think it's one of the best looking copies? Man, thank you so much. I didn't think, you know, you got to remember, I only started doing this business 2 years ago. I never worked with clay in my life prior to doing this mask. I never worked with clay ever. I worked with wood. I whittled. I don't know if you know what whittling is. Some people do, some people don't. I also did relief carving. And mostly, I never did human anatomy. Everything I ever did was always sceneries. I did, you know, mountains and oceans and, you know, all that stuff. That was my forte for all my life. But I always loved the idea of making masks, you know, and make monster masks and stuff. I was always into horror all my life. And I thought, you know, one day if I ever get the time and ever get the chance, I'm going to try and make I'm going to start making masks. And it's funny, you know, I worked my butt off all my life, and I'm finally at the point where I'm getting close to retirement, and I'm going to be able to make masks during my retirement years. But honestly, I'm not going to stay with just Michael Myers. I am definitely going to broaden my horizons. I'm going to do the mask. I'm doing the 78. A dip inward. I'm reading your text. I had to move in a little closer. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a firm believer. The thing is, I'm addressing tectonic right now, and I'm also addressing. I can't read your name. Something Wall Street. This is Wall Street. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't see that text for some reason. I can't make out the. My glasses are out of focus or something. No, I know my eyes are out of focus. I'm diabetic, guys, so my eyes can kind of fluctuate even with 20/20 vision glasses. 1 hour it can be a little blurry. The next hour it's clear as day. So anyway, yeah, it's the sculpture's on. I mean, you can nitpick at it and try to make it. I mean, I have the bubble into the corner of the mouth on the right side. There's the bubble. It's in there. Everybody constantly says you need the bubble. I'm trying to get my finger up into the corner of the mouth so you can see where I'm pointing. Yeah, right in the corner of the mouth. There's the bubble right there. Right where my finger. Well, I went too high. There's a delay in the camera, so I don't see where my finger is until like 3 seconds later, 4 seconds later. So right in that corner there, you see a little air bubble. Apes versus Wall Street. Okay, gotcha. When it was all put combobbled together like that, I couldn't really make it out. Apes versus Wall Street. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I had the corner of the mouth a little bit higher, like a little bit more upward, like a little bit more of a smiley look to it. It just didn't look right on this sculpture. I didn't like the way it looked. I don't want an expression on his face, although he does look a little mean. The sculpture, and I know that, and I want to keep that because I like Michael with a little attitude. I don't want it to look like a plain face. Some people like that plain look, and me, I like that little bit of an attitude in his face, especially around the scowl and the eye area. That's very important to have that look for me. I'm like I said, I created the Night Creeper. It's not really an exact replica of the original mask. It's not an exact replica of anybody's mask or any mask that's out there. It's on its own merit. You know what I mean? And it does have the right contour. The shape of the face, the shape of the head is all on the money. This when this is done, the sculpture, when I mold it, there'll be two size masks because my brother's 6'6". Uh, he needed a 27.5 inch mask for him to be able to get his eyes to sit back into the mask so it looked good on him. Um, so I had to make a big. This is a very big sculpture. What you're looking at, and it's actually around the top of the scowl, where the scowl is, all the way back behind around the head. If you put a tape measure around that, it's like 29.5 inches in diameter. All right, and it shrinks down to 27.5 inches when you make your first mask from that master copy. Everything you have to measure everything right to get the right size mask. You have to make sure your sculpture is the correct size. Um, for me, I had to make a big mask for him because he plays Michael Myers in some haunts, and every year he likes to do different ones, like different versions of Michael Myers. But his mainstay is Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. Uh, he loves kills. He loves the kills mask, so I'm going to be making that version. But my sculptures, my 2018, my kills mask, and Yeah, the 2018 and the Kills mask and the Ends mask are all going to be made from this sculpture. That I'm not changing any of the facial expressions, anything. I'm just going to age it. It'll be aged to look like the Kills mask, the 2018, and the Ends mask. And then when I'm done that, then I was going to do an Ends concept mask, my own twist to what I think Ends should look like, um, or should have looked like. But I'm not taking anything away from what it looks like. I like this mask. I like the Ends mask too. Um, I'll tell you what. You can message me. You can message. Look me up on Facebook under John Hickman. It's JOHNHICKMAN. All right, and in parentheses DJ Styles with two Y's. So it's DJ as in disc jockey Styles STYYLES. All right, that'll be in AKA parentheses DJ Styles, and look me up on Facebook, and then message me a picture of what you like, and I can't put that little smile up into that corner of that mouth because of the way the shape of the mouth is. Um, let me just, you know what, you're not looking at it dead on, so let me turn the face so it's looking right at the camera. That might be a little too much. There you go. Okay, well, let me sit back down. Now you can look at the sculpture dead on. Almost dead on. It's not quite dead on, but yeah, I don't want that mouth on the right side of that mouth looking like a smile, and it's still a little too high for my liking. I actually want it to look like the other side, but the bubble in the corner of the mouth has made it look like it's lifted a little bit because the pitch of the mouth crevices. Let me see. I'm trying to put my finger where. Let me see. I gotta wait. I got a delay, so I'm trying to put the finger on the spot. And you know what? I'm gonna do I need a stick or something to point to what I'm. In the corner of the mouth on each side. You see the little flesh that's sticking, that kind of crimples up on you? I don't want that too, you know, I don't want that to look like a smile. I want it to look very kind of like mundane. I have photos of the actual, I got really good pictures of the flashback mask. I mean, right from the actual mask. And real high definition with all different light angles on it. So I really do have some good pictures of that. Yeah, no, you're right. I still have a little bit of work to do on the lower lip. I'm not quite done, believe it or not. I say it's ready for mold, but I'm not quite done that lip area. It has to be brought down just a little bit. Let me just Let me do this. I'm sitting over here. I can be sitting right next to it while you're looking at it. All right. So what I can do while I'm talking to you guys, because I already kind of know how it's shaped. I've done these lips many times over and over and over again. Let me just bring this down so I can see the lip a little bit better. Okay, this area here has to come down just a little bit, and this is not quite protruding out quite far enough. It's almost there, but you know what? I gotta be careful how much I take off from there. I also want to lower this. Wow. Give me a second here, guys. Let me see how bright this is. Just turn the volume down a little bit. Okay, hang on. Let me put the glasses on so I can see what you're saying. Yeah, you can send a photo. You can send a photo. This looks too flat right across this here. I knew that still had to be done. It didn't have this. This has to dip down a little bit in here, and then it has to bump up a little bit over here, and it has to protrude out a little bit more. You know what? Until I get that flashback picture up on the screen, I'm not going to mess with these lips tonight. But I know what you're saying, and I believe me, I know that this isn't quite right yet on the bottom lip, which is no big deal. I just not hard to fix because I know exactly how it has to be done. And first, you know what? I'll put the pieces where they need to be. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I gotta warm this clay up in my hand first. My little clay ball, it's gotta get warm because I use hard clay. I don't use light. I don't use soft clay. I use hard clay for my my sculpts. Yeah, this is very smooth, and you warm it up. I'll turn the lighting back up again. Yeah, you can send me a picture of what you're talking about. I have no problem with that. You got a good shot. But I do have the actual mask in all the photos that are absolutely, I mean, right on the money. I can't show it to you on here because we're live. Yeah, add me on Facebook, and get Messenger. Through Messenger, you can send me anything you want, any pictures, anything like that. I am going to bring this back to what the flashback really looked like, the lips, because I think the hardest part, believe it or not, to the flashback mask is actually the lips. They're very difficult to do. They're not easy. But this also had to look. You see how it looks pretty wide, the mouth. because I want it to still have that look, little hint of the Halloween, original Halloween too. I don't want it to. I don't want it to be exactly like the flashback. You know, you get what I'm saying. But there are some things that I want to do to this to get it a little closer, but not exact. Like I said, you know, it's like everybody's looking for. Everybody has their own perfect mask. That we all do, including myself. We all have this perfect vision in our head. I'm just fortunate enough to be able to put my vision into clay. A lot of people aren't, you know, can't do it. So my thought is, I mean, I can't please everybody. There's no way, because some people don't want the flashback man. Make it look like, you know, the original poster art one. Chin's too low, the chin's too high, the chin, you know, just you don't. There's so many things that I get hit with from every direction, and I've drawn the line now, and I said that's it. I'm doing my version of this mask, and that's it. And I'm not trying to be rough on anybody. It's just that when everybody's, you know, hey, can you change this? Can you change that? Can you change this? Can you change? I can't do that because, you know, I'm not making your mask. I'm making my mask, and I'm not being procedure, the right word for that. I'm not trying to be arrogant about that. It's just that I know that I'm not going to please everybody with this sculpture. But I'm trying to hit a home run with the majority of you guys. You know, so it's going to be a nice mask. You'll really be able to get a nice, it'll be a nice version of Michael Myers. Right. I'm just like, you know, I'm hoping that it does turn out pretty good. You know, it just has to, we just have to see how it goes. You know, it's like, it's one of those things. I'm hoping everybody loves the mask. Hey John, quick question. Tectonic. I use petroleum jelly between my ultra. Nope, stick with that. You know, Vaseline. As a matter of fact, I have my Vaseline right here. That's what I use for my dividing walls. Just good old petroleum jelly. They're on the money with that. I use petroleum jelly between my ultra-cal walls. I believe I've heard you say you use paste wax. No, paste wax is for a different thing altogether. All right, over here to the right, I make a urethane mask. Let me try to turn the camera. I can't reach the camera. All right, I'm just going to pick it up off the stand. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that clay thing tomorrow. I'm not messing with that now. All right, this is a urethane master copy right here. All right, this is my old mold. All right, this is my old sculpture. And as you can see, look how much better the brow looks on the new sculpture compared to this old one. The scowl, not brow, the scowl. Even the eye, just everything about it looks a lot better on the new one. Anyway, let's get to your question here. Okay, when you use paste wax, this is urethane rubber, doesn't shrink. All right, first off, that's why I want my master copy to be exactly the same size as my master sculpture. All right, this is exactly the same size as the sculpture. It's massive. Look how big this thing is in my hand. That's how big that is. It's a really big head. All right, see my hands and look how big that head is. All right, that's my master copy. With this copy that's foam filled, it's got a pipe in it. that I can take out. You know, it's just to go on a stand. What I do with this is I put stone over top of this. A one piece stone mold over top of this. I make a mold over top of this out of the Ultra Cal 30. All right, and then I can make my large mask from that one piece mold. The reason why you want that foam filled is because you can pry it out of there. You can bend this. Hold on. You can bend this and get it out of the stone mold when it's done. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yeah, I'm just pulling down on the face. I can really scrunch this up and get it out of the mold. And yeah, so that's a master copy. Now, let's talk about preparation on how to make a urethane master copy. All right. Your master mold that you make from here, from this clay sculpture, the master mold that you make from this master sculpture, the two-part mold, the one that I'm getting ready to do here. Now, what I'll do is I'll make one latex mask, maybe two. I'll do my brother's just to make a mask for him in that mold, and I'll make one other mask that I shrink down, all right, into latex. I make that master copy in latex, and then that latex copy will shrink, all right, and I foam fill it like within 2 hours after I dump out the cast. Man, I'm taking you all over the place. Okay, let's just start from, all right, let me just do it from the very start. Okay, we have our clay sculpture, right? Put the dividing walls up. I put plaster on the back side first. Then I let that harden up. You know, I get that all done. I put plaster on the front side second. And then I split it apart and I demold this. And hopefully not too much damage, but you get a little bit of damage. I demold this, then I put the two halves together, and I make two one copy for my brother because he needs a 27.5-inch mask. All right, then I make another latex copy that I foam fill, and I allow that to shrink. All right, that shrinks up to about 2.5 inches. All right, even with the foam filling in it, it shrinks up about 2.5 inches. And then I cast stone over top of that latex mask, master copy, and I'm able to make a smaller mask, which shrinks it down to 25.5 inches. All right, every time you make a copy, it shrinks it by 2 inches. I go from 27.5, actually I go from 29.5 as the original sculpture, and I go down to 27.5 with the first casting, and then I go with the latex master copy and make another mold. I shrink it down to 25.5 inches. All right, now the master mold is now okay. I don't really need that two-part mold because it's a pain in the neck. I already made another mold that's solid. All right, now what I want to do is make a solid mold. All right, so I put these two together. All right, well, the first thing I have to do is I'm going to prepare the master mold from the sculpture so it'll take urethane rubber. Urethane rubber sticks to the stone. Forget about it. You'll never get that stone or that urethane rubber off the stone if you do not prep your stone correctly. The number one thing you have to stop with the stone is its ability to absorb moisture. And that's what molds do. They absorb moisture out of the latex, and it allows the latex to dry within inside the mold after a couple of hours of either dwelling or slush casting. All right, so what I want to do is put a barrier on the inside of that mold that will keep that urethane rubber from sticking to it. And it's a combination of, I use paste wax to seal the mold, all right, the inside walls, and then I use a spray release on the stone as well. It's actually like it's like a brush on stuff that you put on over top of the paste wax. But you gotta let the paste wax dry on the mold for 2 hours. All right, and sometimes I let it dry overnight or next day before I do any of the next step. But now I'll put the release. It's like an oil. It's in a jar. I'll put the release agent on top of that paste wax. Then I'll mix up my batch of urethane, and I'll do the two halves separately. I'll do the face and the back half of the mask, and I'll fill in all those details along with the ears with just a thin coat of urethane rubber because it's very runny. All right, so you want to get it into all your nose, all your details real good inside the mold. Then what you do is your next batch of urethane rubber, you're going to add what they call polyfiber. All right, the polyfiber gets added to the urethane rubber, and it's really thick. Then you put the two pieces, the two molds together once that first layer is dry. It's hardened inside, not too hard. You want it to be still non-cured because the urethane rubbers won't stick together. So now I have the two pieces together. I flip it upside down so the neck hole is open. And then what I do is I take another batch with that polyfiber added to my urethane rubber, and I put it inside there, and I just stick it up onto the walls. And I can just brush it right up into the walls and all the details, the ears and everything else. And I make it the rubber about that thick on the whole mold. And then you can either foam fill it, like I did with that one. And then when that master urethane copy is done, you have an exact replica of your mold with no shrinkage. That's the point. The whole point is making that master mold, the master urethane copy with no shrinkage, so you have the original size of your sculpture. And you can always make another copy of that. And that the urethane rubber never disintegrates, stays forever. So what I would do is, later on down the road, if my mold starts to go bad or, something, it's just not, the details are being lost, I just make another stone mold from my urethane master copy. Now, yes, I just saw you something about the normal head size is what, 22.5 inches or 23.5 inches? Well, look, I would just simply say your mask size should be anywhere from 25, I would say 24, a comfortable mask for everybody to wear that's an adult would be 24 and a half inches and bigger. 24 and a half inches. Like this original 2018 mask, which I'm going to overhaul. I kind of did it already. I got the stuffed head in there. The hair's all messed up. I don't care. I'm going to rehair this. This is my 2018. All right. I still have to overhaul it and paint it, repaint it. I painted this before we knew what this mask looked like in on screen. So this is a 24 and a half. Look at the size of that compared to my sculpture. That's crazy. This is tiny compared to my sculpture. All right. And it's also a lot smaller Look how much bigger this mask is. And how you can tell is, look at the eye cuts and look where the chin line is. This mask is a lot bigger. Look at the ear size difference. Let me see if we can turn it. There's just, this mask is a lot bigger. This mask is 24 and a half inches in diameter, or 25 and a half inches. The ends mask is 25 and a half inches. All right, so let's get back to this. This is a 24-inch mask right here. All right, if you have, not many people can fit it. That one of the biggest complaints of the 2018 mask from Todd's Trick or Treats Studios mask was it was way too small for most people. Very few people actually fit in that mask. Yeah, it's not here though. It's up at my brother's. He fell in love with it. What can I say? He fell in love with it, and I still have it, you know, but he's putting on his little display. He loves that mask. He loves the way he painted that mask. I rehaired the mask because Alan Hops, because the hairline wasn't correct. And I'm a big stickler with when it comes to, and I don't mean anything about Alan Hops. Alan will tell you himself that he doesn't like doing Michael Myers, or he doesn't follow that stuff at all. He does not make Myers mask or any of that stuff, and I'm along with him because I actually want to get into what he's doing. I want to do monster masks and do my own stuff. I agree with him in that, you know, department, because you do this one time in your life and you don't want to do it again. I'll never go to the point where I have to start completely over with this Michael Myers mask. That's why I want to move forward, and everything's going to be done from this base sculpture. That's what I'm trying to say. Would I want to start this from scratch again? I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it again because it just took too long. 2 years. 2 years to get it to look like it is now. I will not go back to that. Anyway, yes, I still have that, Steve. You know what? I need to be able to get a little closer to the screen, but I don't want to. Let me try and move this. I'll move the computer screen a little closer to me. How's that? That makes more sense. Instead of me trying to move to it, I'll move. Ow! I just got shocked. Now, I can see, I think, I hope. All right. Now, I lost my train of thought. I got a senior moment. What am I going to say? I usually have my hat on, but I don't have my hat. I need a shave. I need a shower. I need everything. All right. So let me read you guys. I can tell you exactly how much I have. I have 4.5 tubs of 5 pounds, 5-pound tubs on there. So that's 22 pounds of clay. That's what's on this armature. This is an Ed Head 2.0 that I got from Monster Makers. The armature itself. Yeah, that's yeah, it's quite a few pounds of clay. Okay, I can tell you right now, Tectonic, if you're interested in making a urethane mold, I have videos of me doing doing the urethane. You'll see the yellow urethane master copies, and you just have to research the how to make urethane how to make your urethane master copy on past videos that I have up. Where you get, I'll tell you have to, if you guys are interested in doing urethane copies of your sculptures and stuff. reach out to brickandyard.com, all one word, brickandyard.com, and when you order, ask for Mitch and tell him what you're doing, and tell him DJ Styles sent you, uh, and from Custom Corpses. DJ Styles from Custom Corpses sent you to. You need the. Let me see. I'm trying to remember what urethane that is. Oh, you know what? I don't have the cup. I don't have the containers anywhere. I got rid of them. Shoot. I have to look it up. I have to look it up on my. I have to look. I can't remember the. Yeah, no, that's not the same one. I'm thinking I'm thinking to myself right now. Okay, okay. Where would you get the right sizes for the molds? Like how far wide the nose is, and how wide is the mouth, and how far separate the mouth in from the nose, things like that. Okay. I'm just going to call you Wall Street. It's just a little apes Wall Street. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'll show you the tool that is the most handy tool you can have. All right. This is called a caliper. All right. And you know the human head. All you have to do is like take a human head, and you can measure. Like even take your own your face. You know, measure your nose. Take the caliper. All right, see how wide your flare is on the nose right here, and I lock it in. That's how wide my nose is, which is smaller than this nose by far. All right, all right. I can even measure. I can measure everything with this tool right here. My head, my width of my head. I'll go on camera for a second. Hold on. Let's do this. Like right on my ears, where my ears are. I'm going to put them right on my ears, and I'm going to tighten down till they're touching my ears, which is right there. All right, so that's how wide my head is. That's how wide, where the top of my ears are. I'm just touching my ears. And then see how much that is inside this head. See, this head's pretty. Now that would be my ears. So let's just take my face. Let's take my right where the eye sockets are. Let's see. All right, I tell you what. You know, I'm going to go right here, right where my eyes are. Right where the corners of my eyes are. All right. Let's see where they fall in here. See? That's on the sculpture. So that's the corner of my eyes compared to what the sculpture is. All right. Now let's take it from here. Let's take that little 24-inch mask. Look where my eyes are on that. The corners of my eyes compared to where this is. See how much smaller this mask is on me? It literally stretches out when I wear this. This is prop only. I don't wear this 2018 mask. It's too small for me. And it's definitely too small for my brother. So a caliper is what the tool you want. So you can actually measure your chin area, you know, for your lip. All right. You know, the length of your nose from the bridge of your nose. You can do that. You know, the bridge of your nose, the width of your, you know, from cheekbone to cheekbone. You know, you can measure every part of your head with this caliper. All right. And that's how you proportion everything. Use that caliper on there, and you always have to remember with all the measurements that you come up with the distance of the head. Like I would take, let me see, from the bottom of my chin. Hold on, I'm gonna open this way up. See how far that thing opens up? That thing really opens up. All right. So I'm going to go from the top of my head, dead center of the top of my head. Now I got to be able to squeeze it though. To under my chin. And you can feel where the very top of your head is. You can feel how much that is. All right. Now I'll lock that in with the little thing here. And the chin to the top of the head is even this thing's a lot bigger, but it's close. See how much closer that is? My head's big. I got a big head. Well, you can't see the top part. I'm sorry, it's not in camera. But you can really measure, like take the bridge of your forehead, all right, to the back of your head, the furthest point, right where your scowl is, you know, back of your head, and that's from the front of the forehead, from the front of the head to the back of the head. That's how far you're. Now you have all these measurements, and you can measure this distance. You can just measure it, and you know what the measurement is, and you want to make your sculpture at least 2.5 to 3 inches bigger. I would say 2.5 inches. 2.5 is plenty. 2.5 inches bigger than all your measurements. And that's if you want to just make a mask your size. But the proper way to measure your head, let me show you. I have the tape measure raw here somewhere buried. Here it is. Now, this is a tattered one, but it'll work. See these little tape measures here? All right, so I'm going to take this measure. I'm going to measure from the back of my head. I want to take the number 1 though. All right, so I'm going to go. Let me take my glasses off. The proper way and the proper place to measure your head is from your forehead, right above your ears. All right. And to the furthest point of the back of your head. All right, and I'm pushing that together and I'm making it somewhat tight. I'm bringing it right in to right here, right where my brow, my brow is. Now I'm going to pinch that, and I'm going to see where these two numbers come together. And that is 24 inches. My head is 24 inches in diameter. I can't have a mask that's 24 inches. I got to have a mask that's 26 actually. 25.5 inches is a perfect fit for me. A mask that's 25.5 inches, and that's exactly the same size as this mask, Halloween Ends. That's a 25.5 inch mask. So if you have a 24 inch head, I would definitely make my sculpture. Let me see. That would make my sculpture. You ready? You're going to love this. All right, so my head's 24 inches. I need a mask that's 25.5 inches. So that means my sculpture has to be 2 inches bigger than 25.5. So that's 26 and a half. 27.5 inches is what you want to make your sculpture. If you were, and I'm talking about the same diameter that I did with my head here, the way I did my head. You want to measure your sculpture the same way, and you want to make that sculpture to make a 24 inch mask. You have to make that mask of the sculpture at least 27.5 inches. All right. If your head's 24 inches, you need a 25 inch mask, or 25.5, should I say. 25 would be a little tight, but if you have a 23 inch head, you just have to subtract that 1 inch. So instead of having a 25, if you have a 23 inch head, you want a 24.5 inch mask. You always want it to be 1.5 to 2 inches bigger than your head, the mask itself. so it's comfortable. You don't want it to be too tight on you, because there's going to be areas where it's a little tighter than in spots than others. Yeah, you can get away with an inch and a half. Inch and a half would be good. So that's basically it. So since my head's 24 inches, I need a 25 and a half inch mask to fit me comfortably. And as a matter of fact, when I put this 25 and a half inch mask on, it's perfect. So you want to measure your head that way. That's how you measure your head. And some people measure from their nose to the furthest point of the back of their head. That way, to give you a circumference. But I like to do it just this way. Just go around your head instead of... so... And I got major stubble. I just shave my head off. I don't like keeping my hair long anymore. I just don't like it. Drives me nuts. I wear a lot of hats. No, I don't bother, and I'll tell you why. With monster clay, you don't have to demold it, and you can just change the features on the. You want to make it a monster mask, or the eye holes are in position. The eye cuts are right in position. That's where my eyes are. That's where the nose is. Everything's on this sculpture, on this Ed head, perfectly lined up to the Ed head eyes. That's what it's for. The Ed head puts everything, like your ear holes, in the right position. It puts your eyes in the right position, your mouth in the right position, and chin. That's what you want from the Ed head. Now, if you use monster clay, you never have to demold it. I honestly don't believe that. Now, I use monster clay hard because when I do demold it, it doesn't get damaged as badly. So when I demold this, I'll have some damage in the nose, on the flare outs. I'll have a little bit of damage underneath the eye cuts here. The ears, no matter what you do, they get destroyed because they're natural locks. They have lock, it locks into the clay and it hardens. And when you separate that, it's going to get hurt. It's going to get damaged. But pretty much nothing else gets damaged. It's usually the nose, maybe a little bit of the chin, the ears definitely, and underneath the eyes a little bit, depending on how well you can separate this without having that drop. You want to make sure that you, when you separate the two halves, that you don't just let that half drop off the face and then scrape it on the way down. So you kind of you tap it off, hammer it off, because it takes a little bit more power than just tapping. You're banging it off the sculpture, and then you want to make sure you're catching that stone underneath the chin, and then kind of just kind of finagle it and rub it, pull it off that way. You'll see, I'll do that process when I do the mold making. When I go to take it apart, I have to do that outside for sure, separating it. Yeah, so when I do that and I'm able to salvage 90% of the sculpture, I already have the clay where I need it to be, the size-wise. If I want to make a zombie mask, I just keep the clay that's on there, and I just keep resculpting the clay and resurfacing the outer clay. Why take it all off of there when you're only going to pack the clay back on? It makes no sense. So using the release, if I was using soft monster clay, you're not going to salvage too much of that. It's just because when you go to demold it will completely destroy your sculpture majority of the time, unless you're really careful pulling that off. Sometimes the soft clay literally wants to come off the Ed head, all right, without even warming it up, because the soft clay is so soft. Yeah, Yeah, 13 inches wide. 23 inches. Yes, you're correct. That's exactly what that is. That's the ed head. Now, what you need to do is measure the diameter of the head. You know, because it's a lot smaller. That ed head's pretty small. It's not real big, but it's you know it's supposed to be. I have the male ed head. I don't have the female, so I have the male version of it. I love the ed head because it's a good armature. I don't really need the hot water. Maybe at some point, somewhere down the line, I decide I want to take the clay off of here. I doubt it. I'll be just constantly retooling what's already here. And I can always add to it. I can add, you know, a neck. I can add a chest plate. I can do all those things to it. I can take away from it. You know, I can make the neck more narrow. I can do, you know, I can do anything I want with the clay that's on there. You know, I can take it off, add to it. I can do whatever I want. But the positioning of the eyes are there. I just know that if I want to change, like this isn't going to be a Michael Myers mask, and I want to do something completely different, I just make sure that right where these cutouts are, right in the center is where my eyes are. So I want to make sure that they stay in the exact same position. Same with the nose. You know, the nose is going to pretty much stay in the same position. I'm going to say this is pretty buried in clay, the ed head is. I couldn't even tell you how deep it is in there. It's pretty deep embedded in that clay sculpture. But the way I kept packing this out on the ed head is I kept packing it out, but I made sure my eye cuts were always, you know, not the shape. I just made sure the ed head eyes were in place. I kept peeling away at the ed head until I had the Michael Myers eyes out to where I wanted them, and then I filled in the area where the ed head is. I filled that all in, and then packed it out, and then just made sure I cut my eye holes, and I always kept my center of my eyes. I even used toothpicks at one point. I think I used a couple toothpicks. I put them in there to make sure the ed head eyes were identical to where they needed to be position-wise. Okay, so what else can I... Let me see. What I'm not sure what you mean. Hold on. Bo Norton, the ed head is 18. What? Yeah, we read that one already. I meant the size of the Michael mask. How would you know the right sizes of the Michael mask? And thanks a lot for the good info. Again, thanks. How would I know the right sizes for the Michael mask? Well, all right. Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of Michael Myers is all by eye. All right. As long as you have the size correct, you have to make sure that the size is correct. And then, yes, you're going to have to transform the face and the size of the, you know, the way the face looks, the shape of the head. That has to be a certain way. Like if you look at his profile, all right, Michael Myers' profile. Let me see if I can turn this without destroying something. Not quite there yet. Hold on, let me turn some light on. That's too bright. Okay. All right. Shoot. You can't see the top of his head. Hold on, let me try and zoom out a little bit. Give me a sec here. Okay. Okay, can you see his profile a little better now? All right. I wish I had a black background so that you wouldn't. Yeah, I got no way to do it. Okay. All right, so well, let me zoom in. Let me try to zoom in a little bit better. That's a little too far out. Hold on, I just got to move the chair. It's in my way. Jesus, man, I am so cramped for space in here. It's terrible. I can't even move. I'm a big guy as it is, but okay. I think it's as close as I can get it without completely taking it out of frame. Yeah, man, I gotta get brushes tomorrow. That sucks. Okay, let's get back to what I was saying here. Okay, the Michael Myers profile. And I lost my train of thought of where I was going with this. I was trying to explain it for a reason. Let me read your comments first. Let me read them all, so this way I don't miss anybody's question or anything. 18, okay. Oh, no problem, Wall Street. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I'm calling you Wall Street. I love it. I just like that name by itself. Okay, I'm subbed. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not real good with this lingo anymore. Subbed. Let me know what the sub means. Yeah, well, everybody's having internet problems and all kinds of crap's going on. I like to use wet clay, but I don't have wet clay with me right now. So I have a place that I go that's literally about 3 miles up the road. It's a pottery place. They make they have I can get pottery clay, and it's made for it's a water based clay, and it's actually a little whitish, but it's a water based clay. And all I'm going to do is clay this portion of the ear. I'm not going to clay all the way into here because I don't want all the clay getting inside the ear. So all I have to do is clay it up about that far. You can't really see there, but I'm going to clay from here and back around this ear and about halfway, right where the dividing wall is. That's where the clay wall is going to stop too. It's going to be sticking out. It's probably going to be about maybe 2-3 inches off the ear itself. And then this gets nice and smooth, and then the back half gets done. And then I take, once the back half is done, I take the shims out. I take the clay off, and then I do the front half, because the stone wall will be there. And then you just do the front half right up against the stone. Oh, thank you for the subscription. I just subbed, okay. Duh. Oh, man. See, that's what happens when you're 60 years old. I'm 60 years old, guys. I'm not a young guy. I wish I was. I'm an old man. That's why, maybe that's partially a reason why I don't mind sharing as I learn. Like I said, I'm new to this too. I'm just showing you as I learn things. I'm showing you how to do things. Random 524. How many people on? Wow, there's 7 people on? Yeah, let's talk Michael Myers here, man. Um, yeah, I like using wet clay. I think it's just it's a better clay for doing dividing walls. But that's the only thing I use wet clay for, is doing the dividing walls. I don't like using wet clay for sculpting. I think it's way too soft and it's messy. And I need to be able to sculpt in my studio, so I don't like using wet clay. Yeah, I mean, it's real important to get the side really right, and why I think people have to understand the profile is really, really key to getting the right look on this face. Uh, Sure, you can make a mold from an action figure. It's very simple. You make it out of silicone. You make a silicone mold. You can get it from Smooth On, or once again, you can go to where I like to shop. Uh, you want to go to brickintheyard.com. Ask for Mitch and tell him DJ Styles sent you. And tell them what you want to do. You're making a mold of a plastic toy. You know, that's all you have to say. You don't have to say what it is. It's a plastic toy. Uh, Rebound 25 mold. Yeah, you can do that too. It's like I said, there's stuff even in the hobby shops now. Like Hobby Lobby and stuff. They have silicone stuff you can buy there and make a mold. But you have to learn how to make a mold now. That's the other thing. You got to be careful with that. Um, you have to do a 2/2. Well, depends on the figure. It depends on the type of figure that you're trying to make, and if you're only trying to get the head of the mold, if you're only trying to make a head, um, what I would do would be to yeah, maybe, I don't know. You just put it right on. I don't have any material to make any molds right now, but there's a ton of mold making videos at brickintheyard.com. He's got a lot of videos on how to make molds, urethane molds, uh, um, um, silicone molds, and also Smooth On. Smooth On is another company that does the silicone mold stuff. So, and they also have a lot of videos. You can look them up on YouTube. How to make a silicone mold uh, for a prop. Say prop, like like a prop gun, a silicone mold to make a prop gun or something like that, and see what pops up. And I guarantee it'll take you right to Smooth On or Brick in the Yard, one of those two. A mini H1 mask. Yeah, the first thing. Okay, now I figured out what you're talking about, making a mask. All right, you want to make a mask out of latex. All right. All right. So once again, you're still going to use silicone, but here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do, Random. You ready? You're going to love this. What you do is you're going to make your silicone copy or mold of your, once you learn the process of how to make the mold of your toy or whatever it is that you're making a replica of. All right, you're going to fill that with monster clay, that mold. You're going to melt some monster clay down, and you're going to fill that with the monster clay. So now you have a monster clay copy in that silicone mold of your toy head, of the Michael Myers head. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put plaster on the outside of that clay head. All right, and I would recommend doing a two-part plaster copy, because you're going to have to dig out that clay, or you could melt it out of there, but you got to watch the heat. You got to watch, if you overheat that plaster mold, you'll crack that mold. The best way to do is do a two-part mold like I did here of that monster clay little head that you're doing. Hopefully it's not too small. And then you're going to make a mask inside that. You're going to put latex inside that master mold that you make. Like if you're going to make you're going to mold that clay, and then when you take those two parts together and you take that clay out of there, you're going to have a plaster copy of your same process. Same thing what I'm doing here to make a mask. It's a clay sculpture, all right? It's monster clay. It's a wax-based clay, all right? And what you're going to do is you're going to put a stone over top of it, and you're going to take the clay out of there, take your stone master copy out of there, your sculpture out of there, and then they take that stone and you fill it with latex, and that's how a mask is made. It's still the same process, no matter what. But in your situation, you're trying to replicate something, and you want to make a latex mask out of it, a miniature latex mask. First, you have to make a clay copy of your toy, whatever the action figure is or whatever. Yeah, that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. I don't know any other way to do it, to tell you the truth. And I'm sure there's other ways. But I'm a real stickler when it comes to, I like doing it the old-fashioned way. The only way I kind of knew how to do anything is the old-fashioned way. And I'm sure there's better ways to do it, so I'm not saying that my way is the best way. My way is just, it's proven time and time again. So yeah, so I mean, you know, it's like I said, you can really you can do some cool stuff. Mold making is fun. I mean, I do like mold making. It's fun, but I never have time. I got to get this stuff done. I got to get this overhaul done. I got to get the sculpture done. And it's not looking like I'm going to get to this guy until the weather breaks. I might wait until the sun's warm enough outside so I can do it outside. Or if it doesn't warm up enough, it has to be 60 and above to make a mold from here. Because what happens is the plaster doesn't like to cure right in real cold weather. It takes too long to cure. It takes forever for it to cure. So you want to be in like 60 and above weather, temperature wise. Preferably no moisture either. You don't want it to be damp outside at all. Well, I got a light on it. I got lights on it right now. Hold on. Wow, that's interesting. And the camera might be doing it. I have overhead lighting on it too. My overhead lights are on. So let me turn it towards you again. What do you think? Since the lights are off, it'll give you a better look at it. I'll turn this light off too. I'm kind of done doing everything I'm doing tonight. Then you just have the overhead lights on it. Yeah, any other questions, guys? Um, there's 7 watching still. Let me see. I'm just trying to keep things interesting. I'm running out of things to talk about. Ooh, that sucks. I'm gonna drink some water. Ah, man, was I thirsty. Yeah, so. Yeah, the shadowing's not hitting it perfect because the lights are a little bit behind the sculpture. So you're not seeing the chin or anything. You can't see any of the light. I need the light to be out in front of the mask a little more. That's why I have these lights right here. And I usually put them up high, and they're giving my downcasting light in the front of it. So, oh yeah. My airbrush setup, I have I can show it to you. My airbrush is I have one of those small airbrush tanks. It's over here behind me, right behind me, and it barely can move in here. I'll show it to you through it. I got so much stuff piled up on these tables because I had to take everything off that back deck. And my back shed is completely full. So, I have the triggered, damn it, chair is driving me crazy. Let me see. Let me take it off the stand here. Take it off the stand. I got all this stuff up on top of my. All right, I'm going to zoom out. I got it buried right now because I don't have anything set up. I have to completely. But I bought this at Harbor Freight. This little Fortress. Really nice for airbrushing. This is my airbrush hose. I don't have my airbrush hooked up. My airbrushes are up top there. I have those 2 airbrushes. They're both the Neos, and one's got the trigger. Let me see if I can reach it. Damn it. Yeah, this is the one I like to use. I like the trigger gun more than I like the that pullback thing on the top. I don't like that too much. But then again, like I said, I'm not a master when it comes to airbrushing, so everything is new to me. And I've been told, by guys that well, if you learn how to do it with that, it'll be easier for you. But if you had already learned how to airbrush using the other type of airbrush, then that'll be easier for you. So, yeah. Yeah, this guy's going to be pretty cool. So, and this is my camel hair. I got camel hair here. Good stuff. It's amazing. Camel hair is the best. I got this off of Etsy. See the fiber thickness? Yeah, I forget where I got it. Does it have a coarse camel hair roving, 1 pound. Artist orders, that's where I got it. So I got plenty of there. I figured I use about 1 ounce of hair on every mask. And what is there, 64 ounces in a pound? I forgot how many ounces are in a pound. No, it's 128 ounces in a pound. I forget. I can't think of the top of my head. Anyway, yeah. So I that hair will last me quite a while. You got the same air compressor, huh? It doesn't matter whether it's gray or brown. It doesn't. Gray might be even better. It might show more. It doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's the monster makers, monster clay. That's a wax-based clay. Um, I'm not giving you guys anything to look at because you're not on the stand now. So hold on. You know what? I'll just stare at this guy. What do you think? What a mess. Look at this table. Holy shit, it's disgusting. I'm just so disgusted with this room. I'm just like, I don't even want to be in here. Just can't work, can't function. And it's not really by being sloppy. It's just I have no place to put anything. I have everything filled up everywhere because of even all my shelves are packed full. Behind me, the shelves are all filled. I still have to get rid of those records that are over here on those shelves. Once I get those, then I'll be able to free up some more space for more things to take off the counters. Back there in that box there, that's dental plaster. That's actually green dental plaster. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's got an 18,000 psi, and that is strong. Now, what I like to do with this is for every batch of plaster that I put on my mold or my sculpture, I add 1 scoop. Now, usually it's like 3 scoops of Ultra Cal 30 to 1 scoop of dental plaster, and it completely makes it makes the stone even harder and more denser. Now, here's the thing you have to remember. If you're dwell casting, if you don't know what that is, that means you fill up the entire hole with latex of your mask, your mold. You're filling it up and you're letting it sit in there. And then when after about 2 hours, you dump the rest out, and then whatever's left on the inside of the mask, inside of the mold, is going to be your mask. And it's the cleanest way to do a mask. You don't get all those runs from slush casting. Slush casting is when you pour a little bit of latex inside your mask. And this one here, that's actually a replica of that one right next to it. But I mean, that one's a little bit too... yeah, that's close, but it's not. Like, the lips are wrong. The lips are completely wrong on that. The shadowing on this is not right now because I don't have the light on it, so you can't really see how that looks. Yeah, I still have the master copy for that. I can always make a mask from it too. As a matter of fact, I can show you the mask from that. Let me show you that. I'll go out in the living room real quick. I need a break to get out from underneath here. I'll show you because I can read off the phone if I take that with me. I'll go out in the living room and I'll show you the masks from... Oh, I'll show you something interesting. You see this mask right here? Well, years ago, the hair came off. I bought this in 2001. And if anybody remembers this mask, and you remember who it is, can anybody remember what that is? Anybody remember what that mask is there? Who made that mask? If you can answer that question in the next 10 seconds, you guys win a mask. You're going to win a copy of this guy right here. If you can answer that question, who is that mask made by? Or what company? Now, I got this mask in 2001. Can anybody answer that question that's watching right now? Nope, not rubies. And I'll tell you in a few minutes if nobody gets it. I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes to try and figure it out. No, not a Don Post. He used to be on michael-myers.net. You can find that mask on there, but you got to look pretty hard. And he used to have. Now this one, all the hair came out. It got damaged. The hair did. So I took all the hair off, and I'm going to rehair the mask. It's a very, very thick pour. And I got pretty friendly with the guy that made this mask. He's no longer making the mask. It's not available. I've had so many people try to buy this mask from me years ago. Hey! You're close. I'm sorry. I started thinking you got it, but I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. I'm actually going to double check that. So you might be right, Night Owl. You might be right, Random. But I have to double check. It's on the back of the mask. It's actually the. I'll show you the mask maker in a minute if nobody can get it. Rubies, nope. Anybody else? Yeah, 16 ounces. I couldn't think of the. Anyway, so I can get 16 hair jobs out of my pound of hair. A little less. Delatory. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to tell you guys, and then I'll figure out some other way to give you guys to give you a chance at winning a mask too. I got to start doing that kind of stuff. Give chances. You know, I love the way Nick Mulpagano does it. I really do. I hate to copy somebody, but man, the way he does it is so cool. I like the drawings that he does and all that stuff. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. But I got to get these in production. I got to get the. Yeah, I want to give people a chance to win masks. I'm not doing this to make a living. I'm not making a living doing this. I do this for fun. I do this for a little extra money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to get rich. Yeah, I can hook you up, you guys, with a mask. You know, and I can. You know, I'm going to start a Patreon. I actually have a Patreon account, but I just never really. I don't do anything with it. I don't have anybody on it. I don't think there's anybody on it, to tell you the truth. But I was thinking about doing a Patreon. You know, since I do share everything I'm doing, and just it's not to. I don't want anybody to throw tons of money at it, $1 a month, whatever you can afford. You know what I mean? Not something with. And what I'd like to do with that is possibly use that money for coming up with like ideas or not so much ideas, but some ways to do giveaways. And I also want to give merch. Whenever somebody buys a mask, maybe that helps pay for merch. Like maybe a T-shirt with custom corpses on it. I'm gonna get custom corpses T-shirts done. I don't know what else. I got to get creative. There's got to be some things that I can create to give away every time somebody buys a mask. They're going to get a mask and some things, some tokens to go with it, not just the mask, and make a really nice company. Just quality. It's not quantity for me. It's not quite. You can only sell so many of these a year anyway because copyrights can get you. So, so you guys want to know what this mask is? Let's just show you what this mask is. Hold on. No, I taped it shut because I was going to. I'm trying to get hold of the owner that I got a hold of this mask. Not for resale, but I was going to foam fill it, but you can't really foam fill it. But it's a. Okay, I just remembered what it is. Give me a second. I'm peeling back the tape. Yeah. This is Prowler Productions, made by Ezra, number 23. That was the 23rd Prowler Productions. All right, and it's called the Knife Wielder. That's the name of this mask. You can see that the latex is cracking and stuff. And what I want to do is I was going to stone mold this. I was going to stone this because this is a really thick mask. Look how thick this is. Why do you see how thick this is? Hold on. Let me take it off. Holding the head at the same time sucks. See how thick that mask is? That is like literally an 1/8 inch thick. The amazing thing is the mask is still nice and soft and pliable, and it's 2001. That's when he made this. I put this tape back up on it. See the timestamps on there, 2001. That's when I bought it. He made the mask for me. Well, they didn't make the mask, but my point is, I want to get to the point where the masks are all done, and I can just sell you the mask. Give me a second. I know the phone's going everywhere. All right, so yeah, let me zoom back out. And that's a big mask too, because I'm big. So that's a big mask. That's bigger than the 25.5. This is like 26, 27. So I think it's 26 inches, this mask. But anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about here. Yeah, I can show you that. Yeah, it's a knife wielder. That's what that is. It was made by Prowler Productions, not Night Owl. Yeah, it was. I thought it was Night Owl. I started thinking it was Night Owl too because I thought, I think you might be right. It's been a long time since but I know the guy. His name's Ezra. Ezra actually is the name of the guy that made that mask. Yeah, we're going to come up with ways to do mask giveaways. And I think how I'm going to do it is through maybe Patreon, as you do the once a month, I guess, I don't know, whatever it is you put into it. And you automatically get put in. Anybody that's on the Patreon automatically gets put into the bucket of little balls. You'll get a number. We'll do a drawing, and maybe once a month I give them a mask giveaway, and you're always going to have a chance to win a mask because you're going to be, if you're part of the Patreon community, and that'll be the main gimmick, I guess, that I would put on Patreon, because it'd be really hard to keep up with a Patreon channel. I don't think I want to go crazy trying to add special content and all that stuff for the Patreon channel. I barely have enough time to do what I'm doing. So once I retire, I can do more. Then I'll be able to do a lot more and focus on the business 100%. The zombie thing. Oh, you were looking up there at the. You see those eyes that are in there? They're follow me eyes. If I turn, See the eyes turn looking at you? They're follow me eyes, and they also are reflectors. Now, I haven't done, what do you call it? I haven't done the eyelids on it yet. I still have to sculpt that in there. I just never got to it. Yeah, that was like a zombie vampire that I'm doing with this. So I just took a foam head and carved it out to make it look like that. And it was just creepy. So, and I still want to put some kind of eyelids so the eyes don't look so perfectly round. But I put follow me eyes in there. That's you know, you turn on an angle, you notice how the irises are looking at you. Still, they're looking right at you. See how they're following you? Pretty crazy, huh? It's pretty creepy when a thing's looking at you like that. Yeah, I think if I don't know if it goes down, I don't know if it'll do it when it's down low. Yeah, it does. If you go up high. See how they're looking up at you? Grace Jones from the movie Vamp. Pretty cool. Looks like I attempted to do like this weird clown to it. I just noticed it. I'm looking at it now. I can see like the pointed, see like the pointed, I don't know what I was doing there. I don't know, I was just goofing with it. But anyway, that, if I put a light on that, that's reflective. The eyes are reflective. So if it's out in the yard or something, if it gets hit with a light or somebody, the eyes glow. And I mean, it's creepy looking. It looks like something's looking at you out from the woods. Freaks people out too, man. Yeah, I make reflective eyes. I'll show you a couple of them that I did here. Hold on. I had them sitting right here. Here they are. These are reflective eyes. And believe me, they're highly reflective. You put them into any costume or any kind of, now these are human size eyes, but at a distance, at a far distance, like I even done red ones with pupils in them. And it's got the reflective tape on the back side of it. And I resined it in so it can't come off. What other color do I have? I thought I had blue too. No, they're both the yellows. But boy, they're creepy. Oh my God, are they scary. When you see that out in the woods, looking at you in the woods. Now, you know what makes it even creepier? You guys are going to love this. Those eyes looking at you in the woods. Okay, you can look at it and you go, well, I don't see it moving. I don't see it making, any kind of... So I designed an electronic random blinking mechanism that goes over top of the eyes. All right. So, the eyes sit on a flat piece, and there's a piece in the front that it's hooked up to a motor that literally makes it blink, makes the eyes blink. Like it opens and closes. It goes, and it looks like it's. And I'm thinking about making something so it like just turns a little bit, so it looks like it's looking in different directions, and makes it very authentic. Now, when you see something that's about, like I want to make reflective eyes like that are 44 millimeter in diameter, the size of Bigfoot eyes, and you make them like that big, and you make a nice round reflective type of eye, and you put them in the woods, and you do the same mechanism on there, all right, and you make sure that the eye height is about 7.5 feet, because Bigfoot's supposedly like 9 foot tall, so you'll count it for that height where the eyes would be. And if you have something like that sitting in the woods, say it's at a haunt or whatever, you got haunted trails or whatever, man. So you put a bunch of eyes in the woods looking at everybody, and every time a flashlight hits it, it's like, oh my God, that thing's looking right at you. It'd freak you out, just flat out freak you out, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And then when you see it blink, that'll definitely freak you out. It's one thing when something's just reflective at you and it's standing still and it doesn't move, but it's another thing when it's got real motion to it and it blinks. I don't like light up eyes, because light up eyes, they don't look real. It's lights. Even it's LED lights, doesn't matter. It doesn't look real. But a reflective eye, like a cat's eye, that's different, because now you're hitting something with a flashlight and you're seeing a reflective eye. That's real. That's realism. It gives you a much more realistic feel. What separates the two, or what separates scary to terrifying, is if you can make those eyes blink. So, yeah, man. All you guys definitely hit the like button if you haven't already. Share the content. Let everybody know to come join this channel, because I really want everybody to learn as I learn, because I'm learning everything the hard way. I'm not really copying it. And even when I follow somebody else's direction, if I'm doing a mask or even an overhaul and I copy whatever it is they're doing, I always make sure that I tell the people I learned this from Nick Mulpagano, or I learned this from, I always share, where it came from. I'm honest about stuff like that, because I don't believe in stealing somebody else's work and then, just not being authentic. Everybody copies everybody. We all do it. We're all trying to replicate the exact same mask, so it's like, okay, I say, okay, I like the way you did that, but I'm not going to do it exactly like that. So I'm going to do it close to it, and then I'm going to do little changes here and there to make it my own spin. You know what I mean? So, and always say, hey, you know what? I like the way this guy did this. I like the way that guy did that. And I always share. And this way, if you want your mask overhauled by that person that I copied from, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Sometimes those guys that are real good at doing these overhauls and stuff, you can't get a mask from them for like a year, up to a year. They're in that much demand. Maybe it'll slow down a little bit after Halloween, but right before Halloween, a couple of months before, forget it. It's really hard to get a mask overhauled or made or anything too close to the Halloween deadline. I always tell people, look, if you want a mask, make sure you get it like, you want to try and get it like anytime right after Halloween, because then you got a better chance of getting one, after the orders are done shipping. A lot of these guys get pressured into making sure everybody gets their mask before Halloween. Me, I just kind of didn't want to get into that realm, because I was nowhere near close enough to get this in production, my sculpture here. I couldn't get it in production in time, so I couldn't tell anybody that I can get a mask to them for Halloween. So my big thing is, okay, let's just get this thing molded and ready for production. And then I'm moving on to the next sculpture, and just keep working, make the molds, make the master copies. And then from there, I plan on doing then once I'm done the Michael Myers series, every mask that I plan to make, then I'll have the molds and the master copies. So if I need another master copy, I just make it from the, or if I need another mold, I can just take it from the master copy and so on and so forth. And it's just, it'll be a lot easier once things are finished. Once the sculpting end of it's done, then I can just concentrate on making masks for everybody. And that's the way I'm going to do it. Once I get all those masks done, and I think it's going to be, let me see, at least 5 or 6 masks out of Michael Myers in the end. It won't take me 2 years to do though. It's only going to take me. I can almost assure you, when I demold this, I'll be able to get it back into shape and start the aging process on my sculpture. I'll have it done in probably 2 to 3 weeks, ready for molding again. There won't be that much of a big delay. So, I'm going to get right on it. I think I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to go with this style. This is going to be the 78. Then it's going to be the 2018. Then I'm going to do the kills. And then I'm going to do the ends. And then I'm going to work back towards the flashback. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm doing the ends, and I'm going to do my ends concept mask. In other words, the movie that should have been made. How's that for a twist? And then I will start focusing back on the flashback mask. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, I'll do the ends and the ends concept. Then I'll do the flashback, and that'll be it. Because the flashback mask, there's a lot of changes that have to be made to the sculpture to get it to look like the flashback. You may think that looks a lot like it, but it's not. It's not. It's not close. The cheek lines are different on the flashback, even on both sides. They're different. The eye cuts are close. Dean Knight, he's another good guy to follow. Okay, so what do we got going on? Looks like the Grace Jones movie, Vamp. I'll have to check that out. Okay, so let me show you. I forgot. I was going to go out in the living room. Let me show you, because I'm going out there for the night now anyway. I'll probably end the video out in my living room showing you the display masks that I had signed by Dick Warlock, Leo Rossi, that played Bud in Halloween 2, Dick Warlock, who played the shape Michael Myers in Halloween 2, the original 1981. I have I have Dick Warlock signed on the mask. I have Jimmy, who played, or Lance Guest, who played Jimmy in Halloween 2. So I have 3 of the actors signed on that mask. And I redid the hair. I styled the hair to look a lot better. So the hair looks amazing on it. Let's go out there. I didn't take the hair off. I just styled it. I figured out how to really style it really nice. So let's see. Dark in the house right now because we don't leave lights. I don't have stock in electricity, so I kind of like to keep my lights off. Okay, I am going to show you.
Deputy Secretary Laura Clapp testified.
Oh, world.
She received an email in June of 2019 listing follow-ups from a meeting between the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, we're putting some stuff on the floor to smell good. All right, so
specifically to training, security, assistance. including asking about what other countries are
Here's the hairstyle.
contributing.
This is an H1
Burden sharing.
or Halloween 2.
That can be found in Laura Cooper's
There's Dick
deposition,
Warlock's signature.
pages 33 and 34. The president
That's
mentioned
Jimmy,
corruption and
Lance
burden
Guest.
sharing to Senator Johnson, as you already heard.
And this is Leo Rossi,
It's
Bud.
also important to note
And this is how the hair
Ambassador David Hale
looks for my
testified
H2
that
version.
Army generally was
Let me-
undergoing a review in 2019
This is the paint scheme for the Halloween 2.
of his November 6, 2019 testimony.
The
He
aged
said the
look,
administration did not
the dirt
want to
on the
take a sort of
scuffs on the
business
mask,
as usual approach
the
to
color,
foreign assistance.
tones.
A feeling that
What do you
once
guys
the
think?
president has received a certain assistance
What the hell is this on TV? I don't even know what's on. Playing auto, I guess. And then over here is the H1 version of it, small version. It's a smaller version
Dr. Fiona Hill
of the mask.
confirmed this review and testified on November
The shading in
21st,
it's really
2019.
nice.
And again,
I think my favorite is this one.
that quote,
Let me see.
there had been a directive for
No,
wholesale.
that one over there is the
review
better
of our
one, but
foreign
that's.
policy. Foreign
Oh, and this is my
and the
Kills
choice
mask
between
that
our
I did to
foreign
look like
policy
the
objectives and that assistance.
the fire mask.
Had been going on actually for
Yeah,
many
check out the fire mask. Hold on, let me shut this off.
So multiple witnesses testified that the president
Thank you. All right, so this is the fire mask, and this is a Trick or Treat Studios, and I did the orange hair on it. It's actually a synthetic hair, and I'm still not done with the hair coloring yet. I'm streaking more darker reds and stuff into it, so it looks like fire. So blood, the wet look, you can see how it's dripping down on the face. Like you can see the water. It looks like it's wet when he comes out of the house in Halloween Kills. When he comes out of the house and he's standing in the doorway, and that's how the mask looks. I'll show you what I mean. Here it is. Here's the poster. Of the fire mask. That's what I based it on. So what do you think of that, guys? And I'm not the only one. I'm not the first one to do this. I got the idea from Nick Malpagano. I actually kind of got the idea to do it myself before I even seen him do it. But I liked his technique, so I literally copied his technique. And man, the outcome really was really awesome. The details, the cracks, all the, and that was a wash. That's how you got all those details in that mask to look like that. And it looked really good. All those details are in this mask. They're there. So basically that's what I did. So I don't want to shut that off. I want to put that back on.
special advisor for
All right.
negotiations at the State Department, Catherine Paul,
Any questions, guys?
also heard the president raise the issue of corruption directly with then President Poroshenko of Ukraine during a bilateral.
Because I am going to jump off of here now, man. I've got to get some sleep. I'm getting tired.
September of 2017.
Oh, I never, you know what? Before I do that, before I jump off, I didn't show you guys my Grim Reaper all lit up.
Testified she also
It's out on my front porch.
that, quote, Ukraine is corrupt because she has been, this is her word,
Hold on. Coming out here right now. I got to stand forward on them so you can see, boy, is it cold out here. Man, it feels like we're into mid to late November. Give me a second. I'm going down the steps so you can see a better look of this. This guy's 7 foot tall. The Grim Reaper. 7 foot tall. I've got a gyro light that's in the front splashing upward on the stone. And the ground glows like lava. So that's really cool. And then it's got a flame bulb inside that lantern that he's holding. Oh yeah, he's cool looking. He's creepy. He also glows in the dark. Now this is something I made. I made this 3 summers ago. I'm standing. My eyes. I'm 5'11", and my eyes are right here on his chest, straight ahead. And he's way up here. He's 7 foot tall. So what do you think of this guy? Pretty cool. Now all this on the side glows. His head, all this lights up with it's black light sensitive, the whole thing. It's really cool. So I made him from scratch, and anybody interested in that, you'd have to come and get it, because I can't ship something that big. It would cost a fortune. But if you came and got it, I'm selling it for $3,000. That prop. So I've been offered more for it in the beginning, but I didn't take it when it was hot. I should have jumped on it when the guy offered me $4,300 for it. I was like, what? Like, damn, I can make 5 of these. So let me shut this bullshit off, whatever it is. Looks like it's some kind of political stuff. So I'm in the mood for a horror movie. Oh yeah, there I am. Look at that on the YouTube. Right up on the YouTube channel. That's pretty cool. So, but you guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. And I'm going to jump off of here. I am so tired. I've got to get some rest. And I got a long day tomorrow, because I'm going to overhaul that mask. And I'm going to put it on video and then upload it instead of doing live, because I need to look at pictures for the fine details. I really want to try and find some screen pictures of the screen used mask, and really hone in on it and make it look exactly like that. And then I'll upload the video, and you guys can see that process of doing the overhaul. But there's a lot of overhaul videos out there now. There's a lot of guys doing it. I don't know if they're sharing everything that they do, but I plan on it. I plan on sharing everything I do. I don't really care. I'm not trying to keep secrets. Who cares? You know, I mean, it's like, I look at it this way. If you have the talent and the time, more power to you. There's a lot of high quality stuff out there, and I'm thankful to have been able to learn the process with the time allotted for me to do the learning. You know, so I've become blessed in that department. So, all right, guys. Yeah, I want to check out what the Phillies did. I'm a big Phillies fan. I would say big Phillies fan. I'm not a big baseball fan, but I'm rooting for my hometown Phillies. You know, my Eagles, that's another story. I'm a big Eagles fan. And they beat Dallas, which, you know, I don't bash other people that follow their, your team's your team, you know. I don't get into that tit for tat back and forth. Oh, well, your team's better than my team and my team's better than your team. I don't get into that bullshit. You know why? Because I'm not out on that field. And I played semi-pro football, so I understand looking at the game a little bit differently than the average person. And I see what I see. And I was pretty confident that the Eagles were going to win in that game. My biggest concern all season, and he keeps proving me wrong every week, was our quarterback, Hurts. You know, he just keeps proving me wrong every week, and he keeps getting better and better every week. Now, he didn't do great against Dallas, but Dallas does have a great defense. probably considered either number one or number two defense in the league. So, and we still managed to really manhandle them in the first half of that game. And Lane Johnson got hurt, which is our, right side, complete right side. And the minute that happened, that's when they got behind. So I shouldn't talk football because none of you guys probably really pay attention to football. So anyway, that's my take on it. So anyway, I'm going to go on to other things. All right, I'm going to jump off of here. I'm tired. I'm rattling. I'm just mumbling. I'm tired, wiped out. I'll have to get back to doing that mask though tomorrow, and I'm definitely going to mold that sculpture. I have to get that done. It's driving me crazy not having it sit there forever. All right, guys. Peace. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great night. Hit the like, share the content, let everybody know what I'm doing on my channel, and I'm trying to really share. And I am going to be doing giveaways and once a month, especially when I start the Patreon or whatever it's called. I'm going to get that up and running and get it so where it's generating a little bit of funds to pay for the things that I'm using. That's all I care about, is just paying for the stuff that I do. So, and it only goes back at you guys. It can show you how to do this or that. Or I got news for you. There's a lot of things that I want to do after I get past this Michael Myers stuff. I want to do scarecrow mask. I want to do, oh my God, I want to do a ton of props. I'm going to do custom costumes, like I did with the Jason costume that's on the video. If you watch the Jason, there's 12 parts to that costume making on my channel. You want to check that out. And that's a kid's outfit, and I didn't get super detailed like I could have because I just didn't have the time. And, it was for free, and it was actually for my channel more than it was for anything else. And it was also to learn how to do it. So I kind of had an idea of how I was going to do it, and it was an original idea. I didn't copy it from anybody. And that's how it turned out. And now that I've done one, I know what I have to change and also how much more detail I'll do. And the next one I'm doing is going to be for my brother. And it's going to be a beast because he's 6'6". So I got to get a dance skin. I told him I want him in a jumpsuit, not a, it can't be a two-part suit, not with spandex, not with a big guy like that. He's going to have to get a jumpsuit. So it's kind of funny that a big guy like that going to have to be in a jumpsuit, but the outer outfit is going to cover that jumpsuit. You're not going to see that. It's all black. So it'll be really cool. It'll be cool. I can't wait to do that. That's going to be this winter too. So we're going to make a Jason Voorhees costume, full costume, boots and all. We're going to do, I want to do a mannequin, a foam mannequin that I can actually shape, bend into shape and stuff, and then make it into a costume for putting on costumes, and I can pack it out, I can move it out, I can make it fit on anybody. Just take your measurements, and I say, okay, well, I'm going to make your costume based off of your measurements, and I can make a really cool costume for anybody. So, yeah, cosplay, that's fun. That's fun stuff. All right, guys, I want to thank you again for watching, and let me know what you think of the Grim Reaper. All right, peace, guys. I'll see you.